PLC Crystal Edge Technology screens, and what we're calling it for right now, Cardboard PC Kingdom. So I actually got this idea yesterday when putting together this cardboard bookcase, which I'm pretty much going to do all over again. It held up, but I just don't like the way it's built. So that's what. Do it again. Fixing my mats, I have a habit of separating like crazy all the time. Can't wait to get rid of them. So anyway, I still want to build that ecosystem, but I just don't want it on a large scale. Like the machines we have behind us are good sized machines, and I want something small and compact for our setup. So I came in early, started working on this. Wanted to build on camera, but really want to see exactly how small of a build that I can put together through cardboard. And I actually came with this amazing setup right here. Of course, you know we give credit to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who gave us the ability to do this. Now I'm definitely going to be doing some more demonstrations, but I can't do much on the gunmetal because the gunmetal I want to change. That's our technology. If you've seen that screen we painted on yesterday, that's the gunmetal screen over there. We're going to put a plug in for that real quick. So that technology right there already got orders coming in for it already, and I wanna darken it a little bit more because I'm used to a much darker gunmetal. I mean, it'll still be maintained as white levels. That's easy to do. We can do that with black screens with no problem. So with that being said, I definitely want to increase contrast levels a little bit higher on that. So we should definitely be good to go on that. Now, I'm looking at this whole setup I'm going to have here, and what I'm putting together for our power station, but it's not a power station, it's more like a system designed for basically treating the plants. I said before I wanted to build one of these. I like that whole plant with enough room, so they had to go. And the only case I'm not getting rid of is basically that arcade case. So that arcade case is going to be sick, so yeah, I put a lot of time and built on that, so definitely not getting rid of that. But this little unit right here is a nice small cardboard built that is very easy to put together. Now I put these extra cardboard pieces in here because this is going to be bronze with a little rust look to it, much like we did with that nuclear projector. It's going to have that, and I like to have a little bit of like different areas I can coat with different colors, like different like shades of brown and green and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to be doing some overgrown plants. All of them are going to glow in the dark. Definitely, it's a nice little small build we have here. So let me show you around the unit. Basically, very easy. Power supply fits here. I measured it out. Fits nicely in here. And again, power supply not expensive. We're paying like 40 bucks for a power supply. Same one I have there. Same one I have over here. Same power supply, 40 bucks. This is the template for it. So this shows me exactly when I cut this out up here. It shows me exactly the power supply that will fit there. This time I did something a little different because usually with the cardboard builds, this one I'm going to have to remove the motherboard and reinforce the surface behind it. Because remember, it's still cardboard at the end of the day. Unless it's structured like this, then basically it's not going anywhere. But still, I definitely want to add a little bit more sound structure to that. So we're definitely going to be doing some little bit of upgrading on that one. So if you notice, I put in plates here, and I put in this cardboard here, so that way it reinforces the motherboard up here. If you look at the motherboard, it's sitting kind of interesting. It's not really hitting a little open area in there. It gives a little more kind of a design to it, interesting design to it. So we have two medium boxes to contain the micro ATX motherboard that fits here perfectly. Liquid cooling system is going to go here. So I'm going to do a 2-fan system. We're going to have fan at the bottom, fan at the top, intake, outtake fans. They're going to be here. I still got to cut a port in to push air from here to here. Well, intake fan's actually pushing air this way. It's not going down, it's going up. So it's pushing through the radiator and out the other end. So it's air pushing air from the radiator, air pushing into the radiator. But it still has to come from somewhere. So we need an outsource of air from out here to travel in and back up. That's how to do. So probably most likely any duct system in here would work. So roughly, probably on that side, maybe an 80 millimeter on that side would work perfectly fine. And that'll allow air to push in, and it'll come through here, push up back here. Because air travels like that. If you watch when you put fans, that's one thing you'll be doing when you work on PCs, exactly how to redirect air where you need it to go. And if you have like a backdraft area where air can just suck in from one section, once it builds up in here, it has to go somewhere. So any fan you put in here is going to redirect the air there. Unless you want to put a whole kind of bunch of piping systems through, or duct systems through, which I can show you how to build an entire duct system through cardboard, and basically how to redirect your fan air to go where you need it to go. All right, that's what I was talking about, the PlayStation 5. I was literally talking about that's easy way to conduct air. 120 millimeter at the top, 120 at the bottom. You have those vents that are down there. It's very hard for that air to travel from the top and push down those little vents. And then you're going to hit those areas that basically where you have those heat, what do you call it, the heat sinks down there. So if you notice when the guy took the heat gun and hit the system, it was bright red in that particular section, or bright orange, which means that area was extremely hot and there was very little air hitting that section. But if you have a fan blowing air here, and you put a fan down here, that air is going to pull here, but the air here is going to suck it out. So the air is constantly flowing right through those heat sinks. That's how I basically was able to modify an Xbox 360 by installing in a dual fan system, intake, outtake, to push air in areas where it needed to go, to force it there. I don't know why they didn't do it at the end of the day. Who knows? And on top of that, again, two little plastic filters on each side, because again, dust is going to get down there regardless. It's going down there. If it gets on your fan, it's going in other places at the end of the day. So to have those two little filter slots, we can pull them up. That keeps any dirt from dragging into the fan, down into the duct system. Or better yet, let's just nip it in the butt. Let's just put a fan that slides I'm trying to think of the name of it now. I'm kind of lost for words today. Filter. Let's put a filter right there in front of the fan to kill it all from the door. Because I got filters on these machines, and my projectors, I just pull those suckers off and I'm done. When you got open cases, really not going to be worrying about too much about filters and all that stuff. But, you know, you're just not going to be doing it. Just go through it with a vacuum cleaner and you're done. Release your parts out in the open so you can get access to them. So that's one thing I like about open PCs. So right here on our set we have here, we're going to keep it simple, no hard drive. The hard drive we're going to be using is M2 only, because we don't have any extra compartments with the hard drives. The reason why these have them on there, because basically I have sensitive information on these hard drives, and I don't feel like transferring jack to jack at the end of the day. I really just don't. So I'm just keeping them the way they are, and I'll just use M2s as backups. Right now, after this, I'm not bothering with any more of those hard drives. I'm keeping the M2s right here because they're easy. I don't have to worry about having a compartment for this and a compartment for that, unless I'm doing a gaming PC where I'm going to actually maximize the board's capability. Other than that, simple builds don't need it. So anyway, yeah, M2 in here, 2 terabytes, that's basically about it. 16 gigs, which is all you're going to need. Unless you're doing some research and you're putting multiple tabs at the end of the day, and you need that, you really don't need all that. 16 for here. This is a dummy board, by the way, so we use the dummy board. It's a board that shut down on us. The new board was replaced over there on there, which are micro ITX boards, or M ITX, I'm going to call them. I like them because they're small. Put them anywhere you want. So this is just a dummy board. We just use this to size everything we need. So as long as I buy that board right there, which is a micro ITX, it'll fit in here with no problem whatsoever. It does have the case screws are already installed in. They've been plastered in, so they don't come out ever. And then we get the screws, just pull out the screws, and the whole thing comes out, replace it any way we want to. So liquid cooling system we want to go with is 120 millimeter system. It's a little compact system. They're cheap. They're like 34 bucks. We're going to pull a dual system. So the dual system is the fan's not going to be underneath here. It's actually going to sit up top. So it's going to rise a little bit. It's going to rise a little bit out. I want it to look like a part of the power station, which is going to be overgrown by all this vegetation growth, which is going to have all around it. And all the vegetation growth is going to have hand-painted neon displays off of it, so it gives off a kind of a weird, kind of interesting effect. Anyway, so here we have power supply, and in power supply, you can see it has a reinforced this area right here, so we have no problem buckling out. Underneath here, we're definitely going to have to put a plate here and here, and the reason why is because this is going to be fitting right there. And the reason why I want that there, because this is the system that's actually going to be funding the water for the plants in here. So it's kind of a prop we're putting here all together. A little dirty tank, It's going to have little chemicals in it, like little bio stickers on it, and then we'll have tubes running from here all around this area, wrapped up in different areas, all hiding the vegetation growth. That basically, clearly you can see it's some kind of biochemical. So that's how we're going to build that together. Right now, I'm actually building the shelf for it, so this doesn't look so unprofessional. So we have something that sticks out from the side, a little round piece to it. So I got to paint that and put that in there next. And we have to reinforce this because this is going to have a bit of weight for it because this is going to have vegetable oil in it. The reason why we're putting vegetable oil in it because vegetable oil will allow us to drop in any form of electronic device and run it right through it. Give up that kind of an eerie kind of nuclear look to it. So that's what we're using the vegetable oil. So I'm picking that up today. Vegetable oil, tank that in, get that ready, drill holes on to it. There's a whole lot of stuff we got to do. It's going to be absolute madness. Absolute madness. So we have here power supply, liquid cooling system, PC. That's it. And since they make the M2s, easy, right there. We're done. That's it. Now, as in hiding all the wires and stuff, I mean, you know, keyboard and mouse is going to be wireless, so nothing there. Network Wi-Fi thumb drive, there's nothing there for that. Only thing I see from there is pretty much... no, probably not. We're gonna Bluetooth pretty much the whatchamacallit too, the headset, so there's nothing there either. So technically there's nothing there gonna be attached to it. Everything's gonna be Bluetooth thumb drive, so this thing's gonna be completely wireless. Let's check about the bottom of the base. The bottom of the base is standing up on two boxes because I want to put a nice halo system underneath of it so it glows off anything we set it on top of. So it's gonna have a nice little halo effect all the way around, a light system, make it bright up nicely. Now I'm still figuring out whether or not I'm going to put in maybe a piece here, a thin piece here. And the reason why is because I do want to put in like a blue light across here, just a straight blue light across there. So that way that blue light can hit on here and give off that glow to the plants we're going to have below. So we are going to need some blue lighting in here. Definitely blue lighting to get all that trigger off. No color lights. Not going to work well. Has to be all blue lighting to get the plants to actually glow. So this is our small little build, easy to put together. And if you're wondering how we plug it in, power supply fits just like these right here, where the power supply and all the equipment is out front. There's a vent system right here, so plenty of air flows to the system right here. And we're going to be using a low profile graphic card for this, because this is not supposed to be it'll play games at the end of the day, just like these will. So this is going to be upgraded to an i7. 3770, which I need to be to run the VR systems from the door. I need a 3770 and I need a 3050 to run the VR system, which I'm going to be hooking for this system. This is coming off, going over here. The i5 from here is coming over here, and this is going to be updated to 3770 i7, 3770, and a 3050. And so we can take some parts, put them over here. Only thing we need to do on here is replace motherboard, because the motherboard is a dummy board, power supply, liquid cooling system, and pretty much it. I'm going to pick up some plants today to get kind of an idea on coloring these plants, order some glow-in-the-dark paint, stuff like that. We still got to black this thing out in the day, and I still have some more cardboard work to do on it. Meanwhile, bookcase looks fantastic, but still, my end, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I don't like it. And the reason why I don't like it, because it's a little bit crooked. If it's one area off, it drives me nuts. It'll plague me all day long. So I'm going to take the whole thing apart, put it all back together again. And this time when I build it, which I should have did it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, one solid piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. I built this thing in sections, which was actually a really bad idea. So I should have put 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I could have built these in sections all the way up. It would have been straight all the way across, perfectly lined up. So, taking this apart, rebuilding it again. So, I think, sorry about that. Allergies are killing me right now. I think somewhere between here and here, I do want to put the virtual tank in there. The virtual fish tank there would be sick right there. And I think over top of that, I'm going to put the PC. So I'm going to split it in half. I'm going to put virtual tank at the bottom, PC system at the top, and then I can put whatever I want up there from this stuff right there. Because we are going to install a PC in there. So we're going to put the entire PC on this box right here. Micro ITX board, Same thing, power supply, same thing, liquid cooling system. And we can take a little box PC and we can slap it and lock it right into a corner. Magnetic system will lock in there. As for the screen, nice piece of plexiglass. And we're going to go pick up an LG Ultra Short Throw because they're tiny. You can fit that thing in your hand. That's how small these things are. And I can put it right up against the glass and boom. Actually, I can do invisible technology with that because Ultra Short Throws reflect off a mirror and bounce back onto the screen, which means they have zero lamp glare, which means I can make that thing crystal clear, which you call a metro screen because you can see right through it. So I thought really cool would be a cool design. Nah, I can't tell you. I got to show you later on. It's going to be sick when we get done with it. I figured out an idea of how to integrate our technology and using a two projector system for different forms of applications. But these are micro projectors we're going to be using because big projectors would be too bulky and they're too big. But remember, I did the demonstration where I did two projectors. We did projector mapping and projection at the same time. So I figured out a way how to basically alter and change two projectors to get them to do exactly in a different. I'll explain to you later. But anyway, something cool we're working on now: two projector system setups. We did it with multi-wall setups, but this is completely different. This is more for. I can't talk about that either. Well, I'll show you when we get to it. But anyway, and then we have our ports here. These ports you can buy anywhere. We can get them from Amazon. They're for speaker ports. You make them for just about everything. So you just cut out your hole you want in there and just slap that in real nicely so it gives a real professional look to it. As for your corners and stuff, they're easy. Just an everyday hose, small one, slice it right down the middle and just cuff it all the way around here and here, here and here, here and here. Glue it in, boom, you're done. That glue gun is absolutely amazing. We're working with that thing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm thinking like, when I bought a glue gun a long time ago, it was trash. Is this thing plugged in? Yes, it is. It was trash. So, I basically, every time I put together, fell off. And I was like, man, I'm never buying a glue gun ever again. And then I buy these. I don't know if they changed the glue on these things or what, but man, these things stick. And since I've been burned about 100 times, I've kind of gotten used to the pain, so I don't really feel it anymore. They do put these things on your tips, for your fingers, run down, whatever. No pain, no gain. As of the that, this beautiful technology behind it, people looking at this on the forum site like, what the freak is that? It looks like a black diamond, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. I had a couple of people asking me, was it a black diamond? No, it's not. It's our technology. So, we're going to change this. It has to be, I would need an upgrade for this. I'm not used to having a gunmetal this light. I'm used to darker gunmetals. So again, since we have heightener capabilities, we can basically heighten a black screen and read white levels. We can do the same thing with gunmetal. So we want to make it a little bit more darker. I contacted the customer, ordered the gallon. I explained to him what I want to do. He said, hey man, do what you got to do at the end of the day. We're happy with your decision, whatever decision you're going to make. So it's going to be much darker than this. Because keep in mind, at this shade, it beat the Parallax. Yeah, if you saw the demonstration, yeah, it overpowered the screen on a star field. Yeah, I know already. Haters are upset. They're always upset. Look, I've gotten to a point at the end of the day that no matter what we do, they're going to hate us. So, hey, just enjoy the ride at the end of the day. That's all to it. You know what I mean? But anyway, we're going to make it much darker. And by making it much darker means it gives it even more advanced powers to be able to override certified screens. What the naysayers don't understand is it's not for you. Anytime you make gunmetal technology. You don't, right? Some of you claim to have gunmetal, but you don't actually have it because you have to test against certified in order to be registered as gunmetal. So when you go to an actual form site, not some on YouTube doing some stuff, no, on an actual form site, and you walk in there with people who actually have these certified screens sitting in their living room, dining room, wherever it's going to be at, convince them that your product, a paint, mind you, first of all, does not have the ability to compete with a physical screen. That's the argument that's been going on since the dawn of time. All right? You have to convince these guys that you figured out how to make a screen paint that's better than the $20,000 screen they have sitting in their theater room. So, you're going to have to show it. You're going to have to be to show that you can overpower the screen. And that's with the lights on, lights off, ultra short throw, venue projectors for all different calibrations they use these machines for at the end of the day. You're going to have to show, or calibers, you have to show exactly you can do this. Can't go outside because they can't go outside. That's the plus point of screens because we can go outside. They can't. But anyway, as I said before, no one's going to buy from you. If you say gunmetal and you walk into a forum site and you're like, okay, you say you got gunmetal. Mind you, if I spent $20,000 on a screen and you're going to come in there with a screen paint and tell me that my $20,000 projection screen, your paint at the end of the day can take it on. And I already heard the theories about when I did the research, which one was better, screen paint or the certifieds. I'm not going to believe you until I see it. Talk is cheap at the end of the day. You're going to have to show me. So we can do that. I can take a $7,000 screen and put up there and watch the screen doesn't pick up our contrast levels. The whole purpose of why they bought the gunmetal technology is not for white levels. That was the case. Go buy a white screen. Cheaper. Cheaper than $20,000 for a 120-inch screen. So their object of reason why they bought that screen, number one, higher gain. The ability to produce in fully lit environments because darker screens absorb better. And then on top of that, consider the fact darker contrast levels. There you go. But when you have a screen that's physically black, that's a different story. But this is gunmetal, what we're using right now. So our gunmetal technology is designed to be darker than the average gunmetal screen. So we can go into an environment that says, look, this is my star field pull-up next to yours. I have your sample sheet right here in my hand. There you go. And if they sit there and argue in a room, which they do sometimes, and say, well, you know, you're using a cheap projector, it's not fair, you know, so and so and so. Well, what are you talking about? If you spend $30,000 for a projector, you shouldn't be having a problem. I'm the one with the cheaper machine at the end of the day. I'm the one with the lower end projector, yet I'm producing better than you. So who saved more money at the end of the day? Will it be me or you? There you go. That's the conversations I literally have in Certified when I'm in there talking about their screens. You can't argue with me when you have a $30,000 piece of equipment over there. If your projector at that power is lacking and mine's not lacking with the projector I'm using, then clearly there's something wrong with your screen and mine's much more superior. So to naysayers, these are the conversations that I have in these particular forums. With you guys, it's different. With you guys, it's ranting, complaining, arguing, slander, committing crimes, breaking the law. That's you guys. With them, it's more of an other screen paints. I'm saying just them, other screen paints. Other screen paints I have conversations with, they're simple, basic conversations. There's no arguing. There's no this, there's not. There's no slandering. None of that nonsense. They don't do that stuff. You guys do. So I want to break this up so people understand that not all people who make screen paints act like these jerks. Only these jerks act like that. They commit crimes. But other people make screen paints like Pro HD, Goose Screens, Vox, all of them. Those particular people and anybody else I miss, they act professional because I purchased stuff from them. Very professional people at the end of the day. These guys are the only ones who do this nonsense. So I don't want anybody thinking that people make screen paints react that way. No, it's just these dummies. They do that nonsense. So there you go. Rather than that, having conversations with these people on different forum sites, people make screen paints. It's a breath of fresh air to go in there and be to talk to people at the end of the day that are not sitting there being outright rude and nasty to you. So, yeah. It's a breath of fresh air. So, yeah. That's the whole thing. If you're developing gunmetal, you can't basically say you have gunmetal until you actually beat gunmetal. Because you can't walk into a forum saying, well, hey, I got gunmetal. But guess what? It's not ambient light rejection. And I look at you like, what do you mean it's not ambient light rejection? That's what's so backwards about the product you sent over here to us. It's not ambient light rejection, Ketty. Problem we have here is supposed to be, because you have it marketed as gunmetal technology. And gunmetals have extremely high gain sitting on top of them, which means they have the ability to operate in fully lit environments. So what do you have? Now you have charcoal gray paint. Pretty much that's what it is. That's why I said we never find them in forum sites. Never, ever find them in any forum sites. Can't go in there. Can't lie in those rooms. Can't manipulate. Can't do this stuff because people in there know what they're talking about. That's why we pop up in there. Now let's work on my PC here, which is going to be the smallest build I've done so far. And I like this one. I'm curious if we can get smaller, but the only way to get smaller is going to get something like a nano board. A nano board. I've seen those. I want one of those. A nano board so badly. Just trying to figure out how we get that to work. That's an interesting board. These are things for regular buys. And the hot glue gun is doing an amazing job. We're able to build our whole setup here. I can't wait to put this whole thing together. We're definitely going to do a paint job for the door because we got to rust this thing out, which means we got to get some corrosion going on in there, different shades of brown, some greens and stuff going on there, some rusted look to it. You know what I mean? Oh, and we're still working on this. We were asking about that design over there, our little clock tower, basically fan power station with little micro robots. We're getting back to that too. On top of that, I still at the end, near the end of the month, I have roughly 4 screen paints to have designed. This thing has to be done, has to be demonstrated, has to be displayed, has to be documented. I got to turn around and recode it with a gamer paint that has to be done, which involves these guys behind me right now. That has to be done. We have that silver. If you've seen the containers for the silver, they're absolutely gorgeous. And I'm still on the hunt for the orange container, which is turning out to be a freaking nightmare for my gaming paint. So pretty much, probably, most likely, if I can't get that orange container, I'm going to have to get the one with the orange cap, and I can't go to Vistaprint to get my labels made. I'm going to have to go to a professional company because we need a wraparound. I need a container to be orange. It's something that I need. So we want these containers. Look, mind you, you have to understand that I'm not only going to be showing this off online. When I go out, these containers are with me, and these containers are on display for people to see them. So I want something that really stands out. At the end of the day, that's why we're doing that. With the silver, we're doing something where it's an elegance, all about elegance when it comes to silver. The containers are gorgeous. If you haven't seen the container, I'm sure this container is absolutely beautiful. I love it so much. Go get my container off of my bookcase that I built for free. My free bookcase. This right here are the containers that we're using for our silver. And the silver, I know some people think like everyday silver like this, and that's why it's called exotic, because it has a very interesting look to it. Very interesting look. It's going to be like a silver like no other. These are the containers we chose for the silver. We wanted the silver to be absolutely exquisite, immaculate, whimsical, you name it. We want it to be elegant for our customers. We know people love silver screens. This is going to be the most beautiful screen you've ever seen. If I spent the money for a container like this, things are like $7 a piece for these things. As I said before, guarantee what's going to go in. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I can guarantee you one thing. When your wife or girlfriend sees that, she's going to tell you, look, empty the paint out and something else. I don't care what you empty out to. I'm taking that from you. She's going to definitely take it from you. Or you can take it from you. Because you know why? I'm taking mine. I'm going to get another one of these where I'm going to put the product in. But I'm taking mine, and I'm actually going to put some food coloring, dye water into it, and put some pretty marbles into it. And I'm going to basically put some decorated flowers to put on my desk. That's going to do some flower arrangement. For those of people like, what do you know about flower arrangement? Actually, I worked for a company called Crimps a long time ago. Actually, they did flower arrangements and all that stuff, and I learned some of that stuff because, again, I'm a person who likes to know stuff. I don't know anything. I want to learn about as much as possible. And the guy did all the different decorations, arrangements for plants, and I was like, I want to learn this because, you never know when it might come in handy. So that's why any place I go at, I don't care what that person's doing. I find everything interesting. You could be digging a hole, and I'll still be sitting over top of there's a science behind it. Digging holes at it really is, because you're going to hit certain areas of concrete and bedrock and all that stuff. So you have to know how to get to this stuff. So you never learn something new every day. So I like those containers. Are going to be beautiful. Okay, let's get back to this. So what we're going to be running out for this right here, this system right here, is for the power supply, which we need right here, 24-pin ATX power supply. And some people call this 12 V's or 6 V's or whatever, but it'll connect from here to here. We do want the wires to be out in the open. And the reason why, these wires are painted like they're brown, kind of give it kind of a wood structure to it, but we're going to have vines wrapped around. Everything glows in the dark with the vines, and everything else here stays brown. I'm trying to figure out how to get a motherboard cover for an ITX, because we need to make this thing look brown. You know how hard it is to get a brown motherboard? And you can find them. They're just very expensive. I don't know why. Just because they're brown, they're expensive. So maybe we'll have to build our own. Maybe we'll build the first cardboard cover for a system. It'd be pretty interesting. It can't sit on top of it directly because we don't want that, because we don't want to overheat. But let's see what we figure out. It would be interesting to figure it out. It really would be. Okay. Get around to that one too. Cardboard covers. Paint them any way you want. Design them. And we can hook at your board. Something new. That's what I said. Always great to think outside the box. So what we got to do next is, for this, we are working on where'd it go? Oh, it's right here. We're working on the tank. So the tank we're working on basically is going to have it's not so much nuclear waste. It's more like some kind of fertilizer to feed the plants. Unfortunately, it became contaminated with some type of nuclear waste, and these plants kind of turned into some kind of vegetation nightmare. So actually, nightmare. We're not maybe too freaky, scary, but I do have to put a man-eating plant in there. We have to build one of those. So we're going to take when we make our plants. We're going to take other plastic plants and glue them together to make our own weird, different kind of strange plant life, and all that's going to be coated in with different forms of high fluorescent lights, high fluorescent paints, so it actually glows, gets up in there and glow. And I guess in some areas where we're going to have the pipe system running through, we're definitely going to have a little leakage. So we'll put a little pool of bio, whatever it is, coming out of this container in that area. And I do want to do a drip effect. So a drip effect is where we basically, it's a little interesting. So the paint itself, it's not going to be to slow down enough unless we do a build-up. We do it that way, but we'll have to use a clear pipe cleaner to get it to drip down that one section over and over again to give it that drip down effect to it, because there's no way where we're going to get a drip down from here to here. It's just not going to work. We need something to actually stay along the guidelines where it can stay on, like a little pipe cleaner here. It can just wrap itself around and just stay there. We just keep doing the drip process and putting the fan in front of it so we can get that drip effect to it. I would like to see that come off the motherboard though. All right, so let's get started on this, because we got some things we got to run out and do today, and we need parts. I still got to figure out how to get to a thrift store around here. I know there's one around here somewhere. I just got to figure out where. Oh, let me see. Hot glue has started. So if you notice, yeah, video's gone. I deleted it. And the reason why I delete those videos, and I'll tell you why, I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with the videos. You know why? Because I'm trying to keep myself to keep things on topic. I do apologize if for some people I get a little emotional on camera, but you gotta understand, I went through some really bad stuff with these individuals at the end of the day, and I held it together. Hey, what are you doing? I knew you were going to eye that bookcase. I knew it. You're already trying to jump up there already. Do you want a little shelf up there? I will build you a little shelf up there. Would you like a little shelf up there? You can have a little shelf up there. Anyway, so yeah, it's the same thing like, if you have a neighbor that constantly throws trash in your backyard. You spend all day fixing your yard up. Every time you come in, it's always some piece of trash they're throwing in your yard. And they do it on purpose. They throw like one soda can. And every day, they actually make great cobwebs with this stuff. And you go over and you talk to them and say, hey, look, man, I know you're throwing a soda can over my yard. Can you just stop it? And they just keep doing it over and over again. And you warn them, they do it. And until it gets to a point, you literally have to threaten somebody at the end of the day. But they keep throwing that soda can over there. Same scenario. So, yeah. That nonsense at the end of the day. And then when they finally move and they go somewhere and, you don't have to deal with them anymore, you're still talking about it because that stuff ticks you off. Like, man, yeah, I had this neighbor next door. Like, he was a freaking pain in the neck. Like, this joker was throwing soda cans into my yard. And I literally had security cameras pointing in direction, caught him, throwing the soda can, and he sat there and denied it. That kind of nonsense. There you go. So people still talk about that kind of stuff. And I'm sorry for bringing it up in videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I worked hard, very hard to build my company. And I know those of you leaving the room are those of you who were doing that nonsense to begin with. But don't worry about it. Like I said before, it's all been taken care of. I'm happy about it. Yeah, I am going to talk about it a bit from time to time. Because again, I worked very hard to build my company from the ground up. And just trying to see somebody trying to sell lies about something I worked so hard to build, yeah, it frustrated me. Because I worked very hard to build my company. So I'm happy that things are now going to be coming to a head in 2025. And finally, I'll get a chance to get some justice, get some people in court, and again, get some justice for the crap that they put me through. So yeah, I'm happy about that. God is going to see everything through. But until then, I'm going to get to my builds. Because I am liking this little tiny build here. Man, I wonder if I can make it smaller. Actually, we could. With a power supply button fit. For some reason, these boxes are literally the same size as a power supply, which I find really weird. Because, the odds of getting something to tuck away your power supply is really interesting. These fit perfectly. They fit perfectly for tucking away your power supply. Like the perfect size. I get something like a micro power supply. You've seen those things before. They're expensive, but they're pretty cool to work with. I need air. I swear, heat in this place is unfreaking believable, man. It's unbelievable. It really is. Sometimes I got to open up the door because sometimes the heat in the offices are good, but they got central heat in there. But the office outside is a little bit cooler, which I like. I like that temperature better, and I'm not used to this heat. I don't like it. I don't ever like the big. I wasn't a big fan of a lot of heat. I used to just turn off my heat, and open my windows up. You notice when I was in the apartment, I had the windows open all the time. I like cold air. I love the cold. That's what a lot of people. That's why you saw me in the snow all the time. I like cold. I mean, when it's cold outside, cold, 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 I like it. I'll be out there walking around talking. The only thing that gets cold on me is my chest and my hands, and that's it. And I wear thermals all the time, so I'm good. Got these big hoodies that are all lined inside. I got some nice gloves on, but I like cold weather when your face is about to crack. That's what I like. One of these days, I'll get a chance to go to Alaska. Really get the chance to have some fun out there. All right, let me see. I got to build a ledge for this thing too. A ledge over here. These have been nice little steampunk setups, you know what I mean? So a lot of rooms with micro boards to go with this. It'd be pretty cool. All right, let me see. Is this the one we cut out? That's one we cut out? Yeah, this one we did cut out. So we need this to come a little bit more. I don't want it all the way out. So everybody is having a wonderful day, and if you're not, put it in God's hands, it'll get better. I have bad days too sometimes, trust me. Everybody has them. So I like this whole setup, because every time I walk over in Family Dollar, I see all the fake plants, I'm like, oh, I want that one so badly, so badly. I want one so badly. So now I'm going to give over here. And we're still working on our retro arcade. I still got to put this kind of winding kind of design. I want this thing to wind. I'll show you in a day. It's the kind of line design we want to put for the top. We're definitely going to start working on the arcade machines today too. Get those built, get those designed, get those ready, get everything blacked out. So if you don't know about the arcade machine we got up here, that's an actual arcade store. That's actually an arcade PC. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Yeah, even has a, oh, I can install the billboard in the back too. I literally forgot to do that. So yeah, it's an actual game arcade that literally has a projector built into it and a screen in the front for the still glass window we can game off of. I'm hooking up a RetroPie and my PC at the same time. So that way I'm putting in an HDMI remote control switch box. I can switch back and forth to the RetroPie or switch back and forth to the gaming PC. So that thing's going to be pretty awesome when we get done with it. And then we still have these we're working on. Sorry about that. We still have these PCs we're working on. These are actually already done and run. They're not done, but they're still we're working on them. We got to still silver plate the side of this, make it look more like a refrigerator, run fans in the back. I still got some frosty foods I want to put in there, like some frozen pizzas, some, you know, ice pops, stuff like that. Got some doors we're going to put on here, frost them up real nice with a little bit of clear silicone. I wish I could do that spray paint job and just stick them outside like the ice, crack them up. Cold air cracks up silver really good. We have to put a reinforcement line underneath here because this is leaning just a little bit. So to reinforce the box from here to here. Next time I build this, I'm going to put a double layer reinforcement bar across here to reinforce this. It can't go anywhere, but I'm definitely going to reinforce this next time I build one of these. But we can work on this one. I can reinforce this plate and repaint it in probably right from here to here. That's basically about it. This one already has a liquid cooling system on the back, 2 sets of port fans in the back. We do 1 more port fan for the back here. This needs a hardware upgrade, and that's pretty much it. That thing is almost just about done. That is going to be good for VR. My VR glasses are going to be custom painted to match that. So I got to do a little sanding on the plastic a little bit just to wear off that coated layer. It's going to make it impossible for my paint to stick. Do a prime job on my VR and then coat everything so it glows in a splatter effect. So I want everything to basically match my system over there. So yeah. And then hopefully, people, this will be finished because I got the panels coming in for it. So we'll put the panels in. That's actually the panels right there. It's marked up. We can still use it. We just roll over top of it. So we're going to turn this whole entire thing into a giant screen for ultra short though Epson coming through. And I'm trying, what I want to do is I have a segment I want to start. Once we get all this finished and done, once I get on site and start doing more demonstrations, we want to buy projectors up and do segments like where to get affordable, cheap projectors on eBay and use them with our screen paints. So that way, we're going to call it budget projectors. That's what we're calling it. So that way, you know, we can navigate, buy stuff, and bring it on. Say, hey, look, this is what this works with. And yes, we'll do it against certified screens. We'll show you against white levels, lights out, all that stuff. It's like someone doing the projector work for you. So that way, you can see how everything works. I'm going to do unboxing. So I'm going to start doing my unboxing videos on there too. Back again. All right, let's get this back in here. I love working with hot glue because it just sticks so easily on everything. I haven't decided what kind of power button I'm going to get for this thing yet. I definitely want to curve this out. So I thought, like, what kind of steam pump do you do? Eventually, there's different types of steam pumps. Steam punk. There's one actually set in the past, and there's one set in the future. So it's pretty interesting. I like steam punk. I like that. I like that whole thing of basically that old-fashioned technology and new technology combined. Having PCs run off Steam, wouldn't that be freaking? I wonder if anyone's done that yet. See, that's the kind of stuff I like to look up. Has anyone done that? Has anyone actually? Which would be kind of weird too, because when the parts would get infected, because again, you got Steam at the end of the day. Unless they got it separate from it, so it can't touch it. Like they got it way over here, and they got the power system over here. It would be a huge setup, but still be pretty interesting. I'm curious about that. So a nice little ledge for our power station setup. Ow, Mother George, get used to that after a while. Getting burned with hot glue. Yeah, you'll figure it out. Alright, we need to put a little thing around here so it looks more, give a more realistic look to it. So I'm going to bend some cardboard up. There we go. Take it from here. Let's bend this up so it bends a little better. We're still working on this. I got to build a website. Start showing it off, which will be a gaming website, and we're going to have a lot of cool stuff on there. I can't wait to do my anniversary version of PS Pro. I'm going to put in a PS5, a PS4 box. I'm sorry, a PS1 box. That is going to be epic. To put a PlayStation 5 Pro into a PS5 box. Of course, we're going to have to build like everything we need to get it to fit in there. So glue gun and double layers of cardboard to do it. And we're definitely going to put a peekaboo window in the back. I don't want to disrupt the front because that beautiful logo for the PS1, but I do want to cut out a peekaboo window in the back. And then basically you can see all the parts and components in there. And we're going to do that on a professional liquid cooling setup, which means we can't do the AIO setups because AIO setups are basically, you really don't see any liquid flowing through those tubes. But the one we're set is going to have a reservoir system on it, so that way you can see that beautiful blue flow through. And yes, it's going to be a high fluorescent glow blue, so I want this thing to really look nice when I do it. So we bent the cardboard up to give it more flex to it. So now we have to figure out exactly where we basically hit this thing at. Right, I want you to try Dead Space. No, I like to sleep at night. I'm good. Dead Space is freaking creepy as I don't know what. I don't know who. Well, actually, matter of fact, I know a few people beat that game. I don't know how the freak you guys do that. I can't do it. No, no. I got it one time. I was curious. You know, you go to the game store, you buy so much stuff, you beat so many games, you start looking for weird stuff to find to play. You know, you end up bumping this up accidentally and playing to find it's actually freaking cool. The guy was like, how about Dead Space? I'm like, oh, I heard about this. You know, kind of. I played Resident Evil and different games. You know what I mean? How bad can it be? Gee, what's the weed? What the freak? Like, seriously? I couldn't even get off the first level. Like, what the frick was that in that corridor? Like, go down the wake up and you walk down the corridor and you hear the doors open and closing and you look at these things and walking around. They got arms sticking out of their heads. Like, nope. We're not doing this today. This is not going to happen. And I played Aliens in the dark with a flat strobe light. So yeah. Good gracious, man. And I watched my friend play and I was like, wow, this is Japanese it's creepy on so many levels. It's not even funny. He beat all of them. And then I got another buddy. He's into horror games. He did The Evil Within. Can't do those games. I can't. Nope. You can call me a coward. I don't care. I play zombie games. That's basically about it. That's as far as it goes for the horror games. So the zombies. And the last time I did Resident Evil was on Dreamcast. I can't remember which one it was, but I knew it was one on Dreamcast. That's all I remember. That's the last one I did. I didn't do one with the giant Superwoman. I'll tell you one thing. If you played the Resident Evil that came out, the first one that came out, that one was really hard. It was. You had to figure out that whole plant system. Once you learn the plant system, it's pretty good. But the running, you run and you turn, and then you run and you turn. It wasn't no actually running around corners like you had that fast movement. That was run and turn, run and turn. That was the classic Resident Evil. I played that on the PlayStation when it came out. And you got very little ammo in that game. Very, very little ammo. If you found a couple of bullets for it, you just basically went melee on everything. And then we got to the big stuff, maybe you can use it. Oh, that guy who came up from the wall. I forgot what they call that guy the other day. I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't know too much about it. But I do play it. I played a couple of games on it. But that one guy who came up from the wall, whew, it's a heart attack. But man, yeah. Resident Evil makes some good games. I do. But the eerie thing about Resident Evil is that you didn't know what the unknown was going to be anytime you walked into an area. Silent Hill is another one I don't play. We don't do Silent Hill. Nope. Silent Hill's a little too creepy for me. But those of you who have beat that game and played that game, hey, hats off to you at the end of the day, because I don't know how you did it. Somebody freaking you out? You're sitting up there late at night with your headsets on. Even worse when you play with headsets on. You play with headsets on, you will hear stuff in a game that you don't hear on speakers. Play some of them games with headsets on. You will literally hear the most jacked up stuff you ever heard in your entire life with headsets on. And you're playing in the dark too. And what's worse upon worse, your senses are all hyped through the roof, and you're right on pins and needles, and your cat comes along and nicks your ankle. Yeah, that'll do it right there. Next you know, you and him are up on top of the roof with your nails stuck in there, and your wife's like, what the freak is going on in here? Yeah, jeez. Yeah, Silent Hill is creepy. Alright, we got our nice old ledge here, already built. Gave a little rim to it to make it more professional. And the reason why we have these panels like this, because these are going to be one coat of rust. This is going to be another coat of rust. But then we can put a nice black shadow right here in this ridge right here to make it stand out a little better. So this is when we need a very thin, extra fine brush. But right now we're going to blacken everything out. But when we put that in, we're going to use a brush like so. Get right there in the little corners and just brush it up real nicely. Real nice. You know, it's interesting. This actually relaxes me. I watch a lot of AMSR. I love AMSR. That was the best thing anyone ever thought of. So relaxation. You know what's beautiful about AMSR? When COVID came out, a lot of people after it ended had a lot of leftover stress. A lot of stress. And people are just trying to figure a way how to find ways to escape some of the things, the stress that they're dealing with, you know what I mean? So the AMSR videos, man, they helped me out through a lot. And when I was in the house, I was suffering from the lung disease, and there were days I just couldn't feel like couldn't breathe, enough air wasn't pushing in. And just sitting there listening to the AMSR allowed me to calm down, allowed my anxieties to shut down, allowed me to be able to relax. You know. So those things are God sent at the end of the day. They're God sent. There's so many of them at the end of the day that you can just sit down and just relax. Folding paper is one of my favorite ones. Just sitting there hearing somebody fold paper. Or what's the other one? I like the makeup tutorials. I know it sounds the same, but I do. It's relaxing. Watching them put the makeup on it. I don't know what it is. It just basically puts me out, puts me to sleep every single time. It relaxes me so much. So yeah, they're fantastic, man. I actually watch too much for painting too. Painting's actually pretty good too, but they're relaxing. So some people can't afford a psychiatrist. You know what I mean? I could go out and afford. I got good insurance. I can afford a psychiatrist at the end of the day. But you know, there's some people who can't afford a psychiatrist. And even if you can't afford one, can you get one? Because that's what happened to me. When I was going through all that stress and everything with the lung disease and everything, I was going through a lot of stress, I was going through a lot of depression, And just because you got the money don't mean you're going to find one, because they're in high demand. Everybody needs a psychiatrist. Everybody needs someone to talk to at the end of the day. I do have my Lord and Savior I can come and talk to, but I need to talk to somebody to explain to them what I was going through in that house. And it wasn't nothing to do with these guys at the end of the day. It was about stuff I was going through, challenges through my breathing and feeling like I'm going to die in this place, or I can't leave this place, or I'm trapped in this place. If I go out there, I die. I had agoraphobic. Literally was diagnosed with agoraphobic. Couldn't leave the house. I was in it for 4 years in that house. Couldn't leave. So, you know, my sister's one that broke me out of that nonsense. She came over and she said, hey, look, you're leaving the house, you're moving, coming up here to Allentown with your family, be close to us. I remember when we packed everything up and we was leaving, I remember having my mask on and walking out that door, and I prayed that night about, Lord, give me the strength to walk out of this house, and he did. I walked out of the house. We got over in Allentown, and there was a steak store they had over there, and I was like, hey, you want something to eat? I said, yeah, I'm a little hungry. And the Lord told me to take my mask off. You don't need it. And I took it off. This is a person who was scared to death to leave the house. And when the Lord tells you something, if you have faith in him 100%, you're going to do it. If he told you, hey, look, go walk on that water over there, you can do it. You can walk right across that lake, right across it, no problem. You got to have faith at the end of the day. And that's what it took. I took the mask off my face, I walked in, I looked around, I was like, oh my goodness. I realized that the world had continued on. In my mind, I was trapped in this house thinking the world was still acting as if COVID first happened. But I was trapped in that building. I was trapped in that house, and it became my prison at the end of the day. So when I walked to that steak store and I saw everybody walking around right next to each other and talking, I was like, oh my goodness. So that was the first time in 4 years that I actually walked into a building with other people, sat down, had something to eat. Had a while trying to figure out how the credit card system works. I ordered everything online, so I was kind of like, what are we doing? We tapping, or we swiping? Like, what's going on here? So, yeah, it was interesting. And when I got to my sister's house, I walked out and I walked around the neighborhood a little bit. I walked into a store, my first Rite Aid, walked into a store, sat behind somebody. So, yeah, it was insane. But there are some people that are still there, that are still trapped in their homes. And that's what I had. I was diagnosed with agoraphobic. So it didn't make a difference if I had the money. I couldn't get a doctor, period, because they were all booked. So that's the thing about the AMSR. You know, AMSR kind of helps people that even though if there's no one to talk to, that relaxation kind of helps them with their anxieties and stuff like that. So they do a lot of good to help people out. They really do. All right. We have to reinforce that over there because, again, this is going to have oil in it. Oil. Vegetable oil. And the vegetable oil you want to go with is Crisco Light, because it's the best kind to go with, because you're allowed to see all your components. That's one thing, too. When we build the vegetable oil PC Deep 6, we're still putting that thing together. We got to show that thing off. You have to use clear. The clearer the oil, the better. Because you're going to see your parts in there. You know what I mean? I don't want to be so murky. You can't see anything in there. You're like, what the freak is going on there? You don't know. You're definitely going to need a lot of wires jumping from here into here. Definitely back and forth. So that's going to be a separate job. Now we have to build this thing separate and take it down and put it all together. And definitely have to do that. We're going to get some caulking, because we definitely need caulking because we need to build a residue build up here, residue build up here, here, and here, different areas. We'll show you how to build that residue build up. Okay, let's get some more cardboard down here. What's all my cardboard at? The cardboard I slice it all day long. There we go. Got it. Yes. I remember I asked that from my mom because I always worked with cardboard when I was a kid. I like building stuff with cardboard. And Mom said, what you want for your birthday? I was like, cardboard and glue. That's all I wanted. Really? That's all you want? Yeah. I want a new pair of scissors. I want a bunch of cardboard boxes. And I want glue. That's all I wanted. So I can build stuff. So she got me cardboard and glue. Happiest person on the face of the planet. And all kinds. She gave me no more than that. She gave me arts and craft supplies and all that stuff. And yeah, I had a ball. I can bring all the little imaginations, things I had in my head to put together that I couldn't do it because I didn't have the money because I was a kid. And that's why I say kids probably have some amazing ideas, but arts and crafts are always important to kids. Definitely always important. They got all these little ideas fire up in their head, things that they see, things they want to build and design. Definitely you want to support that 100%. All right, we got a nice little area right here. I don't know how I figured out with that little corner back there, but we have figured it out. All right, we need more glue. Ah, last glue stick. That means we got to make a trip. What time we got? Yeah, last one. And we got to work on this table too, because this table is supposed to be interactive, but I haven't had time to get around that because we've been building on the table. All right, we got our glue stick here. Let's get burned. I got burned a couple times doing this one. Let's get burned. Ah, no, not there. Get up in the corner, up in the corner. There we go. Thank you. Make sure it doesn't hit this right here. So I'm gonna reinforce that corner nicely. Put another one there. So I learned that when building the cardboard PCs. Learn to reinforce your area, because if not, what happens is down through time the weight causes it to sink, cause the box to sink in. That's why we put the plastic sheets across the bottom. We put that thing together. So they're asking me like, so how are you going to install screens without touching the wall? I showed them the system. It's like, oh, okay, that works. Yeah, I don't want to touch. That's what the challenge was when I came here. I was like, how the frick are we going to do this? Like, how are we going to put this in here, because we can't touch the walls? You know, it's not like they said, well, you can't touch the walls, but technically you can't touch the walls. Period. It's wallpaper. Can't actually get around that. So I was like, how do we get around wallpaper? And you can't drill any holes. I don't want to drill big holes in the wall in this place. No, I don't want to do that, you know. Oh, this is going to fit perfectly right there. Okay, we got reinforcement there. This one. So I had to figure out, I had all different kinds of ways. Okay, we'll put 2 bookcases in. We'll put a beam across that. We'll hang a fixed screen there. But then I had to remember, once we bring the fixed screen in here, and once we code it, we got to bring it in the same way we brought it back in. And apparently that hallway has a little bit of a cut and a turn and a cut and a turn. There's no way in the world we're getting that thing up there. We can bring it in when we buy it, of course, yeah, but we someone put that thing together at 150 inches, no way, it's not coming out the same way it came in. And mind you, when you're dealing with a fixed screen, once you paint this thing, you cannot take it apart and put it back together, because the elastic that causes the screen to expand the PVC is no longer there anymore. So no, you can't do it. It's a headache. Trust me, I did it and tried it one time. It doesn't work as well as you think it does. So that we're stuck with that. And we'll have to leave it in here. I'm pretty sure they want a giant screen here. So the box system and panel system actually worked out much better. Alright, I think we reinforced that one section there. So all this is reinforced through here. That's good. And let me see. Right about in here. Just going to hit there. This is all reinforced there. That system is going to sit on top of here. That's why we have these in here, so it's reinforced on top. Alright, that's pretty good. So we can't glue that down yet. We're still going to have to work on a few things. Make that thing look more realistic. Man, I'm telling you, my allergies are jacking me up right now. They're jacking me up. Jacking me up. Anybody have the joy of having all year-round allergies? I do. It's funny, because in the summertime I don't get it that worse. In the wintertime I really get jacked. But you would think it would be less, because the pollen count would be much lower. But I'm going to show you a walk through Allentown, roughly probably tonight. You got to see, it's beautiful. Allentown is gorgeous at night. It reminds me of, like, I told you, it reminds me of a video game. It really does. Because video games, when you drive around, you really can't see inside the windows. And then at nighttime, the tint dies down. You can see everything inside the window. I didn't know that was there. And that was there. And that was there. Like, I didn't know that. They would put that there. Yeah, I found a whole lot of stuff down there at nighttime I didn't know actually existed. Because, again, you don't really look at signs all that much. People look at the windows most of the time. And if the windows are tinted, you can't see anything. You're like, huh, I wonder what's there. It was like kind of like walking through a game system where, you know, half of the stores you can't go into, they just have that tinted window up there you see. So I'm like looking around like, oh my goodness, like, where did they put that? There's a dance studio over here? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I found out like a couple of nights walking around through Allentown. And it's beautiful because they put this whole spectrum of neon lights everywhere down there. So it looks nothing like it does in the morning. It's kind of like reminding me like, you know, when I did the whole living room and everything and all neon lights, and then in the morning it looks regular, like a regular living room. At nighttime, this thing lights up to something completely different. It looks just like that out there. It looks like out of Vice City. It looks just like Vice City. It does. So we're going to do a walkthrough and show you how cool it looks out there. Okay, we got to install the wire system. To install the wire system too. Was Allentown always like this? No, it was not. When I lived over in Philly, I remember my family at the time, yeah, come out here to Allentown. I was like, oh, heck no, you ain't coming out there. I ain't got nothing going on over there. Like, literally, at one point, they had nothing going on. It was actually what it said, Allentown, literally a town. It was. And I used to laugh at them and say, yeah, you ain't like Philly at the end of the day. We got so much to do. We got a skyline. At least we got a skyline. I was literally busting people from Allentown. Because, you know, I was from Philly. I was staying in Philly. My whole line was, I'm going to live in Philly. I'm dying in Philly. Yeah, that changed. But anyway, I love Philly. I still do. I love Philly. I'm always going to love Philly. But, yeah. Once, as you get older, you kind of get tired of the noise. You definitely, it's much quieter out here. It is. It's much more settled out here. Told you could bump into people like 3 or 4 times in a day. But yeah, I used to tease my my brother and his wife all the time. Like, what am I gonna come out here for? You don't even got a skyline. You got one building with a light on top of it. Like, what's that gonna do for me? I need a skyline at the end of the day. They're like, okay, whatever. So this is when Allentown first started off. Like when they've got there, it didn't have all the stuff you see now. Like all the stuff you're seeing now, they didn't have any of that stuff hardly any. They were just rebuilding. So Allentown's a growing city. So I was like, man, I'm not coming out here, man. Y'all got nothing going on out here. You know, y'all ain't got the boardwalk. We got freaking that stadium, all that stuff. I'm naming all these places and stuff. Like, y'all got no real restaurants out here. Ain't no place to eat out here. Like, what's the point? So they're like, okay, whatever, would you come out here when you get your man? We joke, we bust on each other back and forth. We said, well, we ain't got the violence you had the other day. Yeah, I'd rather do it the violence any day than basically be bored to death out here all day long. I'd be out here banging pots and pans just to hear myself think. No, thank you. We're back and forth on this. So I said, yeah. They call me, how's Allentown? Y'all living out there like Mayberry. You got like one freaking school, you got one hospital, you got one sheriff's station. I didn't say police. Freaking well in the middle. That's it. And I'd be laughing. I'm like, there's no way in the world I'm coming out there. Couldn't pay me enough money to come out there. And when my sister, the reason what convinced me was I was going to go to Texas. I got family over in Texas. I was going to go out there because, more bustling areas in Allentown. And my sister was walking around with the camera like I was walking around, and she was showing me all this stuff that we're doing now. I was like, what in the world? That car shows like crazy down there, like right out in the open in the street, festivals, all kinds of. Now Allentown upgraded itself a lot. She's like, yeah, they upgraded a lot since the last time you talked to the other people on the other side of the family. You got to see what it looks like, because now she moved up there now. Now I know her, she's from Philly. Ain't no way in the world she would go up there. Up there, if they didn't have, it wasn't popping up there. There's no way in which she would go. She'd be out in New York City, something like that. So since she was up there, I was like, well, if you up there, they must have something going up there. So she was showing me car shows. We got beer fest up here. I don't drink, but cool. It's a nice place to basically chill. They got some other stuff they can have besides beer, but they have all kinds of festivals up here, which is amazing. So I was like, okay, you convinced me. When they showed me that car show and it's all the muscle cars, like, you convinced me, I'm up there. So yeah, it's amazing. They have programs up here for the kids. So say your kids, so you don't have the money for your kids for books and stuff like that. They literally have a block-to-block barbecue for the kids going back, celebrate for the kids going back to school. They got so many programs up here to help you out. It's not even funny. When they got it, where they have free book bags, free food, stuff like that, everything. It's like a celebration for kids to go back into school. And the schools up here are mostly charter. They're not public. So a lot of the schools up here are mostly charter schools, which are designed to basically get the kids a more of a vantage point when it comes to their education. At the end of the day, it's freaking amazing up here. I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. They had something up here for Halloween. They had a huge Halloween party. It was like 7 blocks. 7 blocks. The city comes in and pays for 7 blocks to bring out all kinds of performers, bands, all food, treats, everything for the kids, so they don't have to go trick-or-treating to the neighborhood. It's beautiful. And the snow removal up here, immaculate. That's the one thing I was thinking about. I came like, man, y'all got some crazy hills up here. I couldn't imagine what it must be like in the snow. No, snow does not exist on these streets. And trust me, we'll walk around and I'll show you, they're constantly on top of it. It's amazing. It's definitely amazing. I'll tell you that. It's amazing. Even the block I was living at around the garage, they had a snowplow unit come through there all the time to take all the snow up, gone. Yeah. They're on point when it comes to the snow, everything. The city is clean, and I mean super clean, and I'll tell you why. Because the prison that they have, and I'm pretty sure, I think I'm right on this, because they were saying that, I don't know if they're volunteers doing it, but I know that there may be sometimes they're inmates that basically have achieved the goal to be able to be trusted, and probably maybe at the verge of being released, and they basically go and they clean up the trash. So these guys are walking all over Allentown picking up trash, and I don't see any trash when I'm out here. It's rare I would see some stuff. Other than that, they're out here cleaning everything up. It's a nice program. I think it is for inmates who actually earned a little bit more trust, and they have the ability to be free, go out and move about. And they sit up there and they clean the areas and sit down from time to time, and that's what they do. It's pretty cool. So they got a lot of stuff out here. Good programs for the kids. You know what I mean? It's safe out here. I've never had to carry since I've been out here. I've never had to carry firearms since I've been out here, ever. Not once. I love Philly and all, but when I go to Philly, I literally have to lock and load. I have to. Literally have to. When I go to Philadelphia. And I love Philly. I do. I love you to death. I spent many of my lives in Philly. But honestly, truthfully, when I come through Philly, yeah, I'm fully carrying. Because, again, I lived in Philly. I lived in some of the Badlands, some of the worst neighborhoods you can possibly think of. So you live and learn when you see stuff every day. So, I lock and load. But up here, never had to carry it. I don't even carry the non-lethal. I don't even carry jack at all, period. There is literally so much police up here, it's not even funny. A lot of police. Like a lot of police. There's no I've never seen shoplifting since I've been up here. And since I've been up here, I think I've only heard of probably maybe 1 or 2 shootings. That's it. That's all. That's all I heard. There was a little incident that went down when they had the Dominican parade and somebody fired off a round. I never heard it. Somebody fired a round. And that sucker was busted. He was busted before he can get in his car. They got him. There are police everywhere down here. They're not on bikes. They're in cars. There's like several different police stations in the same area. And you got an FBI unit and all that stuff down here. Yeah, I told you. There's nowhere in the world. So we don't have all that shoplifting and all that stuff. No, where you want to go? Can't exactly have a high-speed chase down here. We have massive hills down here. That's like having a high-speed chase in San Francisco. You ain't winning that one. You hit something, you hydroplane, that is it. You know how hard it is to get control of the car once it lands and you're still hitting the gas at the same time? Yeah, good luck with that one. So, yeah, no. But other than that, we don't have that down here. It's a pretty nice community. And when I got down here, it's hello, sir. Everybody's so polite. I mean, really so polite. And when people are polite, you become polite, you know? Don't get me wrong, I still like my hostile areas. I do love New York City. I love New York City, I do. I do. Especially when you go to New York City. I wish somebody would say, I would laugh my head off. You see when the person goes, I'm in New York City. And somebody in the background said, blankety blank, blank, blank. To the back, I would laugh my head like, oh, I've finally reached New York City. This is what I'm talking about. I like a little hustle and bustle from time to time. But there's some days I just want to chill. All right, we got this done. We got a little ledge here done on this one. Do we need any more cardboard cut? I think I'm going to do a little cardboard here. Get that. We got any more reinforcements we have to do? Nothing for the bottom, so we're good on that. Just get a little trim in here. I want to walk you guys through when they have all the Christmas. They're still decorating. They're still decorating the town. So when they bring out all the decorations, because I've been watching them all day yesterday, put decorations. When we have the decorations, I'll walk you through. It is absolutely beautiful up here. I never get used to the trees. People live up near the mountains and stuff. You know, I can understand why you live up there. I can understand why you live up there. It's absolutely beautiful. I never get used to that ever. Because, you know, I'm used to going out my door and seeing nothing but buildings and buildings and buildings and buildings and buildings and buildings and buildings. That's what I'm used to seeing. But not when you look out the door and it's just rows and rows of trees just all wrapped around you. It's amazing. In the autumn, it's gorgeous. When it snows, oh man, when I came up here, we had a warm snowfall. and just seeing the Christmas decorations and how the people were so polite, and how it was just, man, it was magical just to look off and just see those beautiful trees. It's like, wow, never ever got that out of my head, and I never get used to the trees ever when I see them. So I'm kind of curious what goes up there by the cell phone tower. It's like, I don't know, got this weird area up there. I want to know. I know. Don't ask for things, but I'm curious. I gotta know. Like, what's up there, man? So, yeah. Sorry about that if I talk too much on that, but I do love it up here. I do love it up here. I do love Allentown. And this is coming from a person who literally bust on a family member about how they didn't have a skyline and how pretty much you got one building with one light on it. What the freak? But I love Allentown. I do. I wouldn't go anyplace else. And now Allentown stretches over into Bethlehem and Whitehall and the Poconos and all that stuff. But you got to get down to the Poconos. But I do like snow, and I want to go snowboarding. I'm not doing no horseback riding. I don't get on anything but a brain. Besides, I think a horse may be a little smarter than me at the end of the day, so no, I'm not getting on no. Can't do horses. Besides, I saw somebody get kicked by a horse one time, and that did it for me right there. But he deserved it. He definitely deserved it. At a Phillies game, guy smacked the back of a horse, and the horse kicked him, and he went over a car like a rag doll. I was like, oh, that's interesting. He was alive. He kicked him over a car. I'm probably sure he broke something, but yeah, he went over the car. That guy over the car. Let me see. We got that nice area there. It's got a nice little section here, right there. Sorry, that's what we're building right now. We're putting this whole kind of, I don't know, architect design on here. I don't know. Hooking it up. We got the ledge for the power station. And the side we're just putting some weird designs here and here, across and stuff like that. Get right here. Yeah, there is a garden in BioShock, because I bumped into that thing. You find it by accident. If you can find it by accident, it pops up, a little garden in there. Blue is life, and hot blue is life. I love hot blue. Okay, we're definitely going to need to build our man-eating plants. We're going to put a man-eating plant here. We are. I put one near the power station. Where power supply will have one man-eating plant. Okay. And I gotta get to that art museum because I know they got new exhibits popping off down there. It's holidays. They got some new stuff coming down there, so I'm gonna check out and see what they got going on in there. What we got here for time? We're at 7:39. Okay, we're still good. There we go. Pop it up right there. That should fit right nicely there. Perfect. Curious how its superheroes react in a zombie apocalypse. That'd be interesting. A video game involving this. How would that work? That would be interesting. I mean, Superman definitely could fix it because Superman can reverse time. Remember, he did it with Lois Lane, basically died. He went back and reverse time, so he could do it. He can basically go back and reverse time. But I'm just curious how it would react. How would that be? How interesting that would be. I mean, if they got bit, would they actually literally change because they have mutated blood? Would the mutated blood be actually more powerful? They actually keep it from basically mutating because they're already mutated already. So how would that even work? It probably would have more of a quicker effect on people that basically do not have powers, like, you know, Iron Man, stuff like that. Batman would be affected by it, but I don't think Batman would, because Batman is actually extremely smart at the end of the day, and he would figure out some way or some antidote or something for the time being to keep himself basically from being infected. So I can see him doing that because he prepares for everything. I'll tell you one thing, man, that is one paranoid guy at the end of the day, because he's paranoid, but at least at the end of the day, he's got something for everything. He really does. The only thing that Batman can't stop is time. That's the only thing he can't stop. Other than that, he can actually prepare for someone for the future, where Darkwing came in at. But yeah, that's interesting. How would they react to a zombie apocalypse? I mean, they could pretty much change. Some have the ability to change the outcome. Just they control time, you know. But I find it would be really interesting. Ooh, man. Do some of these. Hot, hot, hot. Super hot. Extra hot. Extremely hot. I wonder if the guy who did the screaming and yelling for freaking, what was that game called? Man, is it Killer Instinct? It's not Killer Instinct, is it? I think it is Killer Instinct. Yeah, it is Killer Instinct. The guy that narrated did the screaming on that boy. I mean, he must have had a ball in the studio, because he was in there. Yeah, Ultra Combo! I love Killer Instinct. That game was hilarious, man. You get like freaking 20 combos on somebody. Supreme combo. Ultra combo. Especially in the arcade, someone treat you like that. Oh man, that was embarrassing, man. That was really embarrassing to have somebody whip your behind that badly in the arcade. It's different when you're home with your friends and stuff, and friends and joking around. It's worse when you're in an arcade, a bunch of strangers to watch you get your behind whipped on an arcade machine. And not only that, the machine is announcing the combo, so everybody's watching you get your behind whipped. Can't come back after that. I forgot about the humiliation of the arcade. That part right there, yeah. Yeah, people that mastered those games at the end of the day. They had competitions in there. And to get whipped like that, to get spanked that badly in front of a bunch of people, we're not talking about people on live that chances are you will never ever see these people ever again. We're talking about arcade was a local watering hole for you, everybody. So yeah, dude, you got your butt kicked. Everybody like, yeah, man, the guy over there, Street Fighters, man, he got his butt worn out. It's embarrassing. Get your behind kicked that bad. And then you got this machine calling out the combos and everything. Like, Supreme combo. Like, you got a Supreme on you? Really? Oh, man, that's messed up, man. You're going to have to go back and redeem yourself at the end of the day. Yeah, it was kind of like that, too, when you thought about it. You had to go back, practice, keep working at it, keep practicing so you can beat this guy again, have another rematch. You know, you have rematches in there. All the time. This is hilarious, man. Mortal Kombat came out. It was in there getting it in Mortal Kombat. They was definitely getting Mortal Kombat came in. I remember this guy who came when Mortal Kombat first came out, and the guy had the book. Remember the combos of Mortal Kombat? That up down, half moon. Some of the combinations were really, really hard to do because you had to kind of hit that joystick so it just spun a little bit. You know what I mean? That little whip on it for that half moon to pull off them certain moves. And the guy was reading through the book. His girlfriend was holding the book, and he was basically doing the moves. He was looking. That's when he was really getting that game in there. Yep, when he was at the arcade. And they would have competitions. You guys would come there, had competitions. They wouldn't bet money. It was just all about basically all about bragging and rank. That's what it was about. And getting your name up on the highest part of the board. Yeah, I remember that, man. They come in, they would talk mad trash. I remember Mortal Kombat first came out. You would literally hear people in the background somewhere screaming, Mortal Kombat! It was funny. People were just yelling out the name Mortal Kombat. My brother was working on his car. We were out there he's working on his car, and I was holding a flashlight. And all you hear in the background somewhere, some kids screaming, Mortal Kombat! Yeah. That's an interesting game right there. Alright. Who is it? Kula. Kula wins flawless victory. We'll put a wire system in. Build our self-generator. We need copper wire. Copper wire to build our power generator. So we can conduct power. That's why I like games where basically building base games where you land on these uncharted planets and you have to build your entire empire. I love games like that. You start off with, you have to build your power stations, once your power stations going. First you had to basically kill off anything on there that became a threat to that environment around you from your people. You would basically wipe out, exterminate, go and exterminate, wipe things out, till the earth, get it ready, put your power stations in, get full power, get them all activated, get resources to run them. And then once you get mostly resources to run them, then you start building your walls until your walls will generate power to keep out whatever kind of alien life form may try to come in and just wipe you out. And in the midst of that, you start building resources, scientists. Develop scientists is what I go with first, because scientists basically give you information on resources and better ways to build more high-powered weapons. And then you start bringing in soldiers and all that stuff. I love stuff like that. So I got to download. There's a couple of turn-based games like that I have to download. All right, to that first connection, power station. And we're out of glue again? Yes, we're out of glue. No! It's too early for me to go get glue. Oh, we got a window virus. It will be jacked up today. Windy today. Well, we got to paint anyway, so we can paint while I'm killing time, so we can go back and get glue, which we're out of. We need more glue. So I'll get another bag of glue. We can finish building our power station. We have much to do with the power station. Let's put it over here. Well, not power station. It's more like a water kind of filtration cleaning system. No, it's not that. It's more like, how can I say the word? It's like a reservoir for keeping the plants nice and fresh. The only problem is that that water got contaminated with some really jacked up stuff, and yeah, plants will no buffer off the ecosystem. Definitely. So if we wire a piping system through here, through all this overgrown we're going to have here, and we wire the piping around here, around the generator system, which is the liquid cooling system on here, we can break it off here, and we can have those. I told you I want that bio goo to bounce from here, here, and here, whatever fluid's coming out of there. I want it to spill, but I want a drip effect down here. That's why I raised this a little higher up, so we're going to have the drip effect. So how we're going to do that, we're going to take little pipe cleaners, and we're going to cut them, clear ones, and cut them short and long, and then we're going to run the drip off of them, so it looks like it's actually pouring down. It's actually hanging off. It gives like a little cool drip effect. We can do this. This is, the rest of the units are already built. They're already constructed. That was the hard getting them done. And basically just color them up and putting them all together. That's pretty easy to do. I can do it at the same time I'm actually putting the screen paints together. So, and I'm do it all at one hit, get it all done. But I really want to get my gamer up there, because again, what's in that gamer with the new coating in there, I can't wait to show it off. That stuff is going to be like eye candy all day long. And I got this really cool game that I'm going to buy to show you exactly. It's beautiful to go. Oh man, I'll explain it to you. You got to see it. It's going to be eye candy. I told you one of the things I want to do is I want to get a booth unit. I've already figured out where to get the security boxes to put the console systems in, so nobody can take them. So we got that already, and then to set the screens up so people get a chance to play that Apex Gamer technology, where people can come in and check it out. And we'll put like a kiosk unit in where people can come in and they can place their order right from the website, right from there, and then process orders from there. And I definitely want to set something too for backyards, because they do have backyard events up here for RV shows and for backyard home theaters. They have that stuff up here. So I was checking into all the stuff they have up here. So I definitely get into that too. Oh, I don't need this right here. Ooh, look at this. We could definitely use that. This would definitely come in handy for something cool. Oh, definitely using this. All right, let's put all this stuff to the side. This is the stuff we're getting together with the power station. do certain construction on it. And the reason why I'm not showing off too much of the gunmetal screen, because I'm changing it. I definitely want to make it darker. So I'm not going to be happy until I darken it. This right here. What are we going to do with this right here? I don't know what we're going to do with this. For some reason, I feel it's calling me up for this. I don't know what it's calling me. Same bird. Gonna work there. That'll work. These right here. I don't know what you use these for, but for some reason, I don't know. I feel like it's calling me, but we'll put it there. You never know. You know what I mean? You never know. Together, you never know. Now these springs come in handy if you're doing wide cables. You can put the wide cables in here. You can coat these nice copper, like a nice copper look to them, and put these cables in here from out here. It'll look pretty cool when you have your cables in a nice fluorescent blue or green and you got a soft or maybe deep copper around them. Looks pretty cool. That comes in handy. And I'm going to pick up some vegetation today too on top of that, so we can get some kind of vinyl plants in here. Look at something, you know. Literally could have used this right over there when I needed a short cable. This would have came in handy. As a matter of fact, I'm using it anyway. I actually have to do wire management right now. So you see I'm binding all the wire, so it comes from here, it comes down here, and back here and down here. So we're going to make a little compartment underneath there. We can put all our wires in a little box system. We're going to glue it right up in there. We can tuck all that stuff away in there and hide all that stuff. The next time we do this, we go one of those. We have to build something a little bit more detailed, so we can actually bring the wire in and wire manage it from inside the box and bring it back up. I'm also going to build a dump system too for conducting air where I want it to go. All right. And then also too, we can also use. I can never have enough junk. Oh, yeah. Very people. We're grabbing parts out for stuff for the power station. Oh, that would look pretty sick. At the end of the day, that would look pretty sick. Figure out getting over here. Where would we put it at? That's the thing about it is, where would we stick that thing at? But that would look pretty sick. There's a giant what do you call it? It's like a giant round Christmas ornament, but it's clear, you can see through it, and it'd be pretty cool. We could turn that to some kind of tank unit. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. Definitely look into that. Alright, I think we're good with that. Whatever we have here. I don't want to make it too heavy. And we start working on Deep 6. Deep 6 is an experimental PC, so we're going to be dropping an M2 on the vegetable oil. We're also too going to be designing a liquid system cooling system to drop in vegetable oil, to drop the temperature in the vegetable oil. So that way that it doesn't heat up and cook the system. Now you can drop a heat sink to a liquid cooling system to your CPU, that works perfectly fine. But remember, you got M2s in there. Then you got M2s in there, and you got a graphic card in there. Both of them basically generate a lot of heat. So that being said, that heat is going to disperse into the vegetable oil. And when it does, it has to have somewhere else to go. You got no fans in there to cool it down, so that heat's just in there. And again, you're protecting the CPU. That's no problem. It's a liquid cooling system. But the problem is that the M2's not on one, and your graphic card's on one, so you run the risk of them overheating. So with that being said, that's why we're going to be building this copper block coil system heat sink, and we're going to drop that in the vegetable oil. Hopefully see what will happen if we'll drop the temperature and basically break up some of that heat that's basically being generated by the M2 or basically the graphic card. You know how hot graphic cards get? They get really super hot. These ones I have in here, one time I was working on something, I felt this heat hit my hand. Like, where the frick is this coming from? It was coming off the heat sinks. And those little tiny graphic cards were actually pulling off that kind of heat. They pull off some heat. So I couldn't imagine what 30, 50s and 40s, 70s and all them stuff generate in the day. Man, you cook an egg off those things. the back of this area right here. Ooh, man, you just no. Get it a cup. We got to do something with the back of this. We had to do something with the back of this. I do remember, yeah, here on this side. Did I put something here on this side? We definitely need a port for this system. No, you don't need a port. Because it's drawing air up. It's not taking air from anything, but it is taking air from something. If it's drawing air up, air has to come from somewhere to draw up. So we definitely do need some type of port here or here to bring air through. We got a box on this side, so no, not going to happen. That's to support this right here. Oh, we got a box right here too on top of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a fan in here, but we're definitely going to put in some kind of vent system right here, so that way air can push in from outside through here. So we're definitely going to put a vent system there. So we're going to have to build a vent system. Yeah. So it'd be cool. We'll put one together, we'll cut it, we'll put the little vents in here from side to side to side, so it's pretty realistic. We'll build one. What did we do? Let me see. We need for this one. Let me clear this one. Right there in the front. So we'll put it here. Put it here. We're going to make our own little vent system, people. Our own vent system. I'm going to give it a little bit of interesting look. So it looks like a vent. It has a little plates in it. The air pushes through. We got a whole lot of cardboard. Before we get down that road, we got to get some more glue, because we need for the thing to stick. So I'm going to put a little vent system there to draw air in from here, and here, out through there. That's what we're going to do. Alright, so let's get the paint job done. What we've got here, the big brush. Please tell me you're in that water. Let me see. Doobie Brothers make good music. Never got a chance to see them in concert, ever. Wish I did, but I didn't. They make good music. Alright, so this one is basically empty, but we can go with this one right here. Get this one finished. So we have enough to be able to paint to black this out. On top of that, sad news is basically we ran out of paint because they don't have more paint. We're waiting for them to restock. So we only have one area I'm at. I only have one Family Dollar to get to. So I'm pretty sure we have enough to cover this. Not have to wait till they get back in stock, or basically order something from online, which is pretty much. Y'all know, for me, it's going to take forever to get there. There we go. So let's start out the blackout period of this. Let's get this thing out of the way. And we definitely got to remove that motherboard. I said the motherboard comes out. The screws we have in the case screws are sealed in, but the motherboard does remove itself, so that's good. But you know, if you have to repair, you can take out the board. And I really should be starting with the screws at the bottom instead of at the top, because that's much more easier to get to, right? You don't want it basically hanging down and tear up my work. So let's see what we got here. Where are you at? There you are. So the motherboard screws, you can pick those up over at Amazon. They're cheap. Out. There we go. And that motherboard, you don't have to worry about damaging it, because it's already damaged. A guy that was having all kinds of issues, like it really had an issue starting up, and there were some problems with it, and literally couldn't figure it out. Thought there was maybe something wrong with the graphic card. Had to swap them out with other pieces from the other PC, and found out it wasn't even the graphic card. Technically, it was, but it was having issues. So they sold me a faulty board, so I just go in and Amazon and just go and get me another one. Hey, what's up, Sparky boy? Cat's over there. So sorry about that. So this, we do the blackouts, and the reason why is because I did try to do them with straight color, and it just didn't take. So literally was showing imprints of the boxes from the other side. So we do the blackout because it's easier to repaint over it. So the whole system's not gonna be black. This is just to cover it up. It's like a prime job. And on top of that, what it does is hardens the system, hardens the structure. So that way we don't add to make it, makes it a little bit more solid. So as you can see, we added a little structure to it. Just want to get it on this too. Here, here, and here. I want to stand up for this. Got a cold one today. I like the cold. I do like the cold. Some people hate it. I love it. I like the snow, the freezing cold, and all of it. I like the heat too. I ain't bothered by the heat at all, period. It doesn't bother me. If I had one to choose, what would I prefer, heat or cold? I definitely would take the heat. You know why? I prefer the cold because I like the cold weather. But the heat, because I get to wear t-shirts. That's why. And I worked out really hard with my body. Get my body back to where I wanted to get it to. Because like I said, I weighed 280 pounds when I got sick. And I had to exercise and work out to get my body back. That's true. There's no way in the world I was going out like that. Nope. If that lung disease was going to kill me, it was going to kill me while I was working out. Because there's no way in the world. I just don't like the fact that the doctors put me on prednisone, and prednisone is not something you want to take every day. Like, you don't want to take for long periods of time, because prednisone causes you to gain weight rapidly, fast. So they were trying to keep me on that stuff forever. I was like, man, when are you going to wean me off this stuff? Because this stuff is making me heavy. And then on top of that, not being able to work out because of my lung disease. And if I had listened to the doctors, I would have been 400 or 500 pounds easy and no time at all, because they wanted to keep upping the doses. Well, first things first, if I got a lung disease, wouldn't being heavier kind of hurt me at the end of the day? So yeah, that was that argument I was having literally back and forth with doctors about that, about no, I'm not taking it no more. And that's the end of that. Just that and the other, and that was it. They were trying to force me to take that stuff. When you got to take it, you know what I mean? You're denying treatment. Like, nah, I'm out of here. I'm done. I haven't been back to see my doctor ever since then. And since I haven't seen my doctor and I put everything in God's hands, I don't have the disease anymore. You see me do my daily walk and talk, 21,000 steps. I do roughly 10,000 steps a day. Because I like to walk around. I like to walk. But when I go out and I put the work in, I can do about, I want to beat the meter. Right now, the meter, I beat it at the highest on the meter was 21,000 steps. And I've done that a few times. So, being able to get back in, get my push-ups, lifts, weights, and all that stuff back together, get my body back to where it is, get off that prednisone. Yeah, I've never felt better. If I stayed with the doctors, man, that stuff would have messed me up. So I'm glad I let God take over it and not the doctors. You know, that's a couple of times I've actually been told something from a doctor that didn't pan out the way they thought it was going to pan out. I mean, when I got into a car accident and I had to walk with this brace, walk with this cane, and they were telling me, well, you know, the way your leg was broken, your kneecap was broken, that you were going to spend the rest of your life on a cane. I was like, okay, sure, okay. He said, no, Mr. Bird, you got to take this seriously. Like, you're really going to be, you got to, find yourself a good cane or wood walking stick, something, because, you're going to be dealing with this for the rest of your life. I'm like, okay, sure. Sure I am. All right, yeah. Yep, that didn't last long. God fixed that one quick. Went right back to playing hockey. And later on, I got into martial arts and hiking and everything else I like to do, camping, all that stuff. Proved him wrong. Yep. So, the doctors, when they tell me something today, I was like, okay, sure. Yeah. Hey, by the way, have you met Jesus? Yeah, he's fantastic at healing people. I had several people in my family. Actually, I had one person in my family beat cancer, and the other person in my family had a stroke at 21 and came out with no problems whatsoever. Usually when you have a stroke, remember, blood gets cut off in the brain and you start having all kinds of problems. No, she had a 100% recovery. Yeah, because we put it in God's hands, that's why. And one of my brother's wife, she had cancer, and she beat it. And I mean a really bad one, too. And she beat it. All things are possible through God. So I've seen when doctors tell me things at the end of the day, I go, okay, I'll put it in God's hands. And they see me come in, different changed person at the end of the day, like, wow, so the medication working? What medication? I stopped taking that stuff years ago. And getting credit for that. You're not taking credit for that. And what did you do? I prayed. I put it in God's hands. That's what I did. Some doctors are Christians at the end of the day. They do advise prayer. And some are not. Some trust in their medicine. I had one doctor, boy, he got on my nerves. Definitely got on my nerves. Like, he didn't have any faith in God whatsoever. He believed everything he did himself. So I don't know about that, Mr. Bird. I don't know if that's kind of dangerous at the end of the day, putting trust in something like that. So, every time I go in there, I have a little fun with him. And I said, I asked you a question. He says, what? I said, how many boxes of cornflakes would I have to eat to achieve to actually get one of those diplomas? Oh, they don't like that at the end of the day. Don't like when you talk about the diplomas. You make a mockery of my Lord at the end of the day, make a mockery of your diploma at the end of the day. So how many boxes I got to eat? No, I'm just serious. How many boxes do I have to eat in order to be able to achieve one of those? Like, where do I start? What box of cereal do I start from to get one of those diplomas? I think they look pretty cool on my wall. Doctor in the degree. I would love to have that. So, Mr. Bird, that's real. Oh, it is? Really? Couldn't tell the difference. You sure you didn't print this out? Yeah. Let's have some fun with them. That's basically about it. If you don't take my religion is very, very dear to me. If you don't take it seriously, I don't take your degree seriously either. And why do I keep him as a doctor? He's a good doctor. He was a good doctor. Very good doctor. Because again, the medication they put me on, it helped. It did. Prednisone and all that stuff, it did help. Just didn't have to be on it forever. Ooh, man, I just got paint right across my hand. Literally got paint right across my hand. I didn't have to be on it forever. That's the problem. They were trying to keep me on it. That's the problem. It worked. The Symbicort, all that stuff, it worked. It did. It cleared up the infection. It did it, right? But it sustained it. It didn't cure it. It sustained it. It just basically just prolonged it from getting any worse. That was it. And they weren't giving me a solution to how to fix it. They just want to keep putting me on these same meds over and over and over again. And the meds were having side effects. So I need to find another solution because, mind you, when you take stuff like that, it has long-term side effects to it. And I didn't like the long terms this stuff could cause. I suppose I'm right there. So trying to find another way out. They were just want to keep me on this stuff. So I said, I'm done. Put it in God's hands, let him handle it. And use an inhaler. I can't remember the last time I used my inhaler. This stuff has really good coverage. Really good coverage. Doesn't take much. And we're sliding off. Oh no. Nope, this desk, I don't know what is about this desk. I would like to know what this material is, because man, I have dropped everything. Just everything's desk, and it wipes right off clean like nothing. I need to find a dining room table like that. So yeah, we're going to make the gunmetal screen much darker than that, because I do want a darker level on it. So it's one of the things we are going to upgrade on it. So that upgrade should be done this week. We should have that finished and completed. And then we can show it off again. Because I definitely want it. I need it darker. Yeah, I got that over here. I love how people in here, their clients come back in here, people, the woman works over in the other area over there, and I like how everybody, actually it's another person that doesn't wear suits. Got another guy in here that doesn't wear suits. He's not into the suit thing. Why am I wearing, I hate wearing suits. I do. That's the reason why, another reason why I started my own company. I don't wear suits. I don't want to. You know, you work for somebody's business, you have to wear suits all the time. I wouldn't even make my employees wear suits. If you don't want to wear a suit, don't wear a suit. A suit ain't going to bring up your paperwork or anything you're doing up faster than because you want a suit. You want to come here with t-shirts and some ripped jeans, don't go ahead and knock yourself out. I don't care less. As long as you can get your reports in, get your job done, that's all that matters. If you're comfortable in that, work what you're comfortable in. I don't wear a suit all day long. I don't want to wear a suit. Some people like it. I just don't like having something around my neck all day long. I don't like the way it feels. I mean, I wore suits back in the day, but now it's more like I don't have to wear them. I come here every day wearing cargos and t-shirts and hoodies and stuff, and they would think at the end of the day that I work here. I work as maintenance. Well, I like to be keeping on low profile. You don't even know what I do. But they don't know what Black Series Edition is. But we're not ready. We're not ready to show off what we can do yet. They'll figure it out. Some people already know in the building what we are. Because they come up here from time to time to see the black screens. They want to see gunmetal. And they'll go back and tell the people, like, yeah, screens are black. So what? No, they're black projection screens. And they'll come up there like, yeah, somebody told me you have black projection screens up there. I said, yeah, we got them up here. So can I see them? I said, come on. Show them the screens. So, and they come up there, and if they kind of touch it, they go, all right, damage it. Wow. We get into the side. See if it picks up. They did that at the Karen place. The woman came and owned the building. She went to the screen. She leaned up against and looked at it. I was like, oh, okay. You can see it from here because you think there wouldn't be to pick up. You can see the screen? Yep, you see it. That's why I was doing this demonstration. I walked around the apartment. Said any angle I turn, it'll pull. Wait till you see the outside. Wait till you see that technology looks like outside. Because outside, you're used to seeing a lot of washed out screens. You know, that's what people accept it. It's sad that we've gotten to a point in home theater, and especially where we're at in technology we have in projectors, that we still accept the washed out image on a white screen. We still accept it. You know what I mean? People look at it and go, well, you know, that's the way it is. You know, it's a white screen. You know, you're not going to get the best quality, but, you know, at least when it gets darker, it gets better. But no, technically, when it's dark, your screen's still failing. It's still washed out. You have no idea what your projector is designed to look like when it hits your screen. And that's the sad thing about it is some people buy these projectors and they will never truly find out, because some people don't know about our company yet. They find us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. That's where they bump into us at. But other than that, they don't even know we exist. So they don't really know that their projector can do so much more. You're spending money for something. You're upgrading something that you technically don't have to. We got projectors from the old models at 2011, 2010, 2012 projectors, and we're getting them to operate in fully lit environments. And again, if you got a projector that's far more advanced than mine, sorry about that, I'm trying to hold this at the same time and paint this in, and you're not getting the same quality we're getting, and your screen's not working. That's what it comes down to. Your projector's working perfectly fine. And now, since we got this new elegant silver coming out, you got people who have the WeMax and Valve projectors. They can use that technology now. And they're going to see the difference too with them. Even though their projectors are not name brand, they're all going to see the difference between when they go buy one of their screens from the company that sells those particular screens for their projectors. They're going to see that they're not really getting what they paid for. So every time I get one of these older projectors, I go back and I look at their promo demonstrations. And in their promo demonstrations, I see them on white screens, every single one of them. And they're really not producing what they're able to do. Imagine the person who developed the projector really can't see what that projector is designed to do because he shortchanged it by putting it on a white or gray surface. And we get this all the time. We say gray. People go, oh, they try to sit there and say, well, you know, gray screen does the same. No, it doesn't. It does not. Please stop believing that nonsense. It really doesn't. We got these match embedders out. If it does, and guess what? You seen that match embedder demonstration? We had that 150-inch. You go with the black makeup outside. You could do that if your gray screen read. But it can't read out there. That's way too much light for that screen to take in. So if you can't read that, that means you're not picking up that black level. You're not picking up well enough to be a surviving fully lit environment. That's gunmetal over there. That's nowhere near black. And it can generate this environment with no problem whatsoever. So for people sit there and say, well, you know, you got a black screen, you're subject to an exorbitant light, that's why you can be in a fully lit environment. Well, guess what? That's gunmetal. And that can generate in here with no problem. And take out a $7,000 screen at the same time. So that ambient light rejection stuff we developed allows the screens to do that, but again, a good product is going to show what it can do. And a bad product will definitely show what it can do also. And I feel 1% people should get what they paid for. I want what I paid for. I'm going to buy my projectors. So once we get that thing converted to where as dark as I need it, because like I said, I expect a certain type of gunmetal that I like. Once we get it where we need to get it, it'll be gray. It'll be very dark because I like my gunmetal to be nice and dark. We'll get it ready for the consumer, because right now a company came and bought the one under my desk. They purchased that one, and they came in through PayPal invoice and got it, because I told them it's not on the site. You gotta go through PayPal invoice if you want it. So not a problem. I sent over his email address, and we go in and design the PayPal invoice and send it over. That's how we do it with most companies anyway. They don't usually buy from the website. They go to invoice. Churches usually go to invoices too. at his back foot. Oh, we don't need to see that taco. That was a hot mess. I swear he's a hot mess. He'll literally get in a fight with his back feet all the time. He gets in a fight with his back feet. I mean, they're crying. I'm like, why are you fighting your back feet? And they're being competition for the same toy they're playing with. I literally had a dog that was mad at his back foot. He would growl at his own back foot. I was in there crying, like, you know that's yours, right? You do know that is yours. He'll literally get upset by his back foot. And he'll bite it a little bit and realize it's him. It's all him. And then he'll stop. And he'll go right back to arguing with his foot again. I was like, yep. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's the perfect specimen of insanity right there. Literally got into an argument with part of his body. Now he's back over there with another toy. They kill me how to use their claws. Like they can pick stuff up like people. That's just so crazy. So if they had thumbs, if cats had thumbs, some do. Actually, some cats do have thumbs. Some cats do have 5. Because there's a certain type of breed of cats that have, like some people think it's an extra toe, but actually they do have 5. I mean, big old bushy feet. Felines have these really big paws. Sorry if you can't see it. I gotta hold it at the same time and try to get it right there in those corners real quick. Get covered in paint again. I know somebody's like, why don't you wear gloves? No, you cannot feel the paint. You cannot become the paint when you wear gloves. One must become with the paint. Be the paint. Feel the paint. Know the paint. I'd be like the most riddled art teacher ever. Like today, boys and girls, we are learning the beginning of painting. When we're done this class, you will be the paint. Become the paint. You are the paint. It almost as where it says, I'm a dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. Like, what? Like that. And your kids be coming home talking about, I learned something today in class. I am the paint. I will be the paint. I have become the paint. Because kids will mimic all kinds of stuff, which is hilarious. They'll mimic everything you do. And you hear me deep voice go, I will become the paint. Tell them that this right here in your hand is what brings your artwork to life. It functions from your brain, it goes to your hand, and it goes here that brings it to life. This is the instrument of your imagination. It brings your imagination to life. What you have in your head does not become real until it hits here. Once it's here, it becomes real. Once it becomes here, it comes to life. She's been talking some philosopher stuff at the end of the day. You're like, what in the world? Where you learn all this stuff from? I miss a bird's class. We built some crazy stuff. We don't build normal stuff. There's nobody in the world we build anything normal. Maybe have to build popsicle houses. Like, we can't do popsicle house. What's a freak to build a popsicle house? We would build a castle with a moat and armies and ships and the whole 9 yards. Because one thing will lead to another. Like, okay, we built the castle, but you know, what if they're trying to invade our castle? We definitely got to put in a moat, and we can't have nothing in the moat. So we need some kind of prehistoric gator or something in there. And then on top of it, we got the tower, so we need archers up there, and we need soldiers in the front with broadswords. We definitely need catapults for long attacks, because, you know, especially do those long attacks to take out as much as you possibly can. Then you bring your armies in, and then we're going to need ships from the other side to come in, because we can't be fighting imaginary. There you go. You see where we're going at? And next, you know, they come in like, good gracious, this man then built an entire scenery. We built the entire scenery. And I figure if we're going to be doing this, we have to dress up like the characters. So, you know what I mean? Puts it more into the imagination field. So if your kid comes home with a biking hat, you know what we studied that day. Because there will be different hats for everything we do. And I think that's cool because that puts the kid into the imagination of what they're doing. We have art class. We take a bowl of fruit. We put it up there. And they have to paint the bowl of fruit. Everybody gets a beret, gets a jacket on with their name on it. That way they can not only paint like they're artists, but they can feel like they are artists. A little beret with their name on it. I would pay for all that, but no problem whatsoever. Because again, you know what I mean? You gotta spark off that imagination. That's what my mom did with us. That's why we're like this. She always entertained our imagination. That's why I say take your kids out to the museum, take them to art classes, take them to stuff like that. Art classes are not really expensive for kids. That's only for free. Art classes, or do art classes with them. Take them to plays, take them to shows, take them to operas, take them to musicals, stuff like that. Never know what you'll be creating inside that little mind. You know, a kid could become a famous opera singer. You don't know that. You could have that gift. At the end of the day, you never know. You can develop that gift. You would never know. Got to open up those doors for them. That is the one thing of the blessing of having kids. If I did have them, yeah, they'd be doing some crazy stuff. We'd be building all kinds of stuff. Then they were building today. What are we not building today? Today we're going to make our own gunpowder. We need our own gunpowder because we're building our own remote control rockets, and they do not fire enough. We're also going to put cameras on the rockets to see how far they go up. Yeah, we've done all kinds of, but they won't be learning how to build gunpowder. That'd be me. When they get older, then I'll teach them how to do that. But no. We're definitely build our own go-karts. I know how to build go-karts, by the way. I told you I had a lot of. I keep in mind that in my neighborhood at the time when I was growing up, the white kids were doing that kind of stuff mostly, and because I lived in a neighborhood that was mixed, I learned a lot of stuff from hanging around white kids. I learned how to do a lot of crazy stuff hanging around white kids. And one of the kids on the street basically had a bunch of go-karts. I think he's for work on them. And I used to hang around with him, and he was teaching me basically how to fix them and how to repair, how to make them. Especially when you make the cheap ones, they're made out of wood and stuff like that, and you put a little motor in the back and all that stuff. He was teaching me how to make that stuff. Make your own go-karts. So anytime I used to hang around people to figure out exactly how they do stuff, and the neighborhood I lived was majority white at the time. It was still mixed majority, most of it was white. And man, they always be doing something interesting and different. Not saying our people don't. Our people do interesting stuff, but each race always does something different. That makes it unique about it. So, yeah, fishing, camping, all that stuff like that. Now, when I got into hockey, I lived in the hood, and I played in the hood, and I come in with my hockey gear on. I used to get ridiculed all the time by my own people. They literally would ridicule me for wearing hockey gear. Because, again, black people were not supposed to play hockey. Literally would get ridiculed for that. Now, some of my friends in there didn't care. They accepted my whole choice to play hockey and not basketball. But the other half didn't share my point of view at all. I was called white boy. Because I was out there playing hockey. Now, I can play basketball too. I just prefer to play hockey. I like hockey better. So, you know, my brother plays basketball. He actually played basketball in college. My sister's husband, he played college basketball. So, that being said, you know what I mean? I played ball with them all the time, constantly all the time. So, I know how to play basketball. I can shoot the hoops and all that stuff. I just prefer hockey. I like hockey better. So, when we get out there and they be talking trash, yeah, I had to dog you out. Yeah, I got time. I'll put my sneakers on, go over there, got my equipment over in the corner, and dog you out real quick. And and go put my skates on and skate off. How you like that, Marbles, at the end of the day? I just prefer. Why don't you play basketball? I like hockey. I like it. And then before I got into hockey, I got into basically aggressive skating, the vert bowls and all rails and all that stuff, because I like that stuff. That's what I first got into. I got into hockey later on because I had to give that up because you get the voice. Everybody gets the voice. If you don't know what the voice is the voice that tells you you're going to get jacked up if you jump on that rail. Usually you never hear it at all because, you know, you got that immortality, you know, invincible complex disorder, you know what I mean? Like, I jump on anything, I do this, do that. You know, you don't hear the voice, never. You never hear the voice of reason, never pops up. So, you know, you're jumping over stuff and I mean, no fear whatsoever. Got the t-shirt saying, no fear, no fear. You know what I mean? Because you don't have it. It's not there. But it'll pop up. One day it'll pop up like, hey, buddy, if you jump that, you're definitely going to get killed. And you're like, nah. And then when you go to jump it, your legs don't move. Like, you're literally scared to jump this thing when you had no fear to do it. Yeah, that's when it's over. That's when it's over. Because I learned mine. I refused. Didn't want to listen to my little voice. And everybody kept telling me, you get the little voice shit? I'm like, nah, I ain't get the little voice shit, man. I got no fear, man. I fear nothing. Nothing at all. And death is going to take me. It would be a sweet way to die by getting slammed by a tractor trailer with my hockey blade. So I'm going to throw that trash at the end of the day. And then one day we go to New York City, and they have a freaking 5-story parking lot. And they got a nice sweet rail sticking out the side of the cement. And I'm thinking, man, if I click this nicely, they record this perfectly. You got the city background. You got me sliding down this rail. Perfect shot. Oh, it didn't turn out that way. When I jumped on it, I felt that voice come up and say, hey, you might want to just skip this one for right now. Let's just skate around the city and have some fun. And I'm thinking, man, I got this. I can do this. It's not that hard. I'm really having this conversation with myself. And then when I went to jump, I stopped. I jerked myself. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, I never felt that before. I usually jump and click. But I jerked myself and stopped. Almost got hurt doing that. And I backed up a little bit. So, you know, it's just no nerves. At the end of the day, I'm just going to hit this. When I went to go jump, I almost jumped over the whole side of the cement platform where the poles connected at and almost dropped 5 stories down and almost killed myself. Yeah. Instead, I pushed back out and I rolled down the stairs. Quite a lot of them. Good thing I had a helmet on because I felt my helmet bounce a couple of times off that cement. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. And ever since then, I was shook. I just couldn't jump off stuff, this, that, and the other. I was having problems. I was like, no, it's that voice, man. I'm done. But I still had that adrenaline to be able to get that thrill, but I couldn't get that thrill from regular skating. Skating around regular skating, it wasn't for me. I needed something that I can I like aggressive sports. So that's when one day, you know, friends were out there playing some hockey, and guy said, hey, you ever try it? You gotta try it. Check it out. And gave me the hockey stick, and, you know, I pushed the ball a little bit around, and I didn't know much about operating the stick and all that, you know, just pushing the ball around, and I liked it. I liked the speed with the stick and the way the guy was moving back and forth, turn around backwards, take the ball and curve it, bring it around with your body, have this roll in, bring it back, bring it forward. I like that, especially when you move sideways, you know, just move sideways. So I like that speed, to have the fact to be to move that fast and have control of that ball with that stick to be to move anywhere you want to go and go, bam, put it in. I freaking loved it. Got adrenaline rush off of it. So went down to the skate store and I bought Missions. I went after, what's the best skates you got? So we got CCM and we got Missions. I like the Missions. Missions had the fat wide laces. Like, oh, I want these right here. So my choice is Mission. Mission aluminum hockey sticks, Mission jerseys, Mission pads, everything Mission. It's my favorite. So got into hockey. And I didn't know too much about the sport, so they were teaching me everything. They're teaching me all the rules and regulations and all that stuff. And then I got into a couple of games, and yeah, I liked it. I fell in love with it. Stayed with it ever since. That's how I got into hockey. Another substitute. And then later on, I already knew how to ice skate already because I was ice skating before I actually got into rollerblading and all that stuff. You know, you've been to rings and all that stuff, but then when you realize that roller skating and ice skating are both the same thing, just the only difference is with skating, you're moving at a lot faster speed, and the penalty is much greater if you fall and hit your face on that ice. Other than that, yeah, same thing you do in skating, it's the same thing you do in rollerblading, and you play hockey, it's the same thing in skating, same thing. Yeah, had a ball with that too. And one of the things you learn when you play hockey is you learn how to fight on skates. You learn every cheap shot in the book on how to take someone down. when you fight somebody on skates. And you will learn to fight on skates, or not, you get your butt kicked. Don't let them get that jersey over top of your head. You'll be jacked up if they do. Yeah, you know how to fight with your sticks too. What did he do? No, that's me. You know how to fight with your sticks too. So that stick, that part under your blade, I'm going to show you per roller blades. You're going to understand exactly. Shouldn't be showing you this, but oh well, whatever. Mission hockey blades. I might give you another pair of these. I missed my skates. So that area right there, where I'm pointing to, see that little area right there underneath your skate right there? That's a serious weak point on you right there. So they'll take that blade and they'll put their force behind it, and they'll catch that blade underneath that section, bring it up, and your body comes with it. Yep. Skate it right behind you, drag that stick up and catch it right underneath your blade and go whoop, and your whole body goes with it. Yeah. Or even worse, they'll take that blade and run up the side and get to the back of your front of your neck and come down. You know how to fight with them. They're sticks. That little hook part of the blade, yeah, you know how to fight with that thing. Oh my goodness, I miss these days. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna come back to you. I'm definitely gonna come back to these. Oh man, I miss these. I'll show you a video of me skating. I can skate my butt off. Doing it for years. But yeah, you know how to fight with them sticks. I just carry my sticks everywhere I go. I remember this one guy, man, he became part of the group, man, because he did something. I was crying. So we were all out there, sitting out there, waiting for this game to come up. We got to be over at the Rat's Nest with a bunch of people. Go get us a game they're going to have. And we're out there, sitting out there. This is a guy, I don't know what game he's coming from. He's dressed up in gear, and anyway, he's coming skating past. And the one thing we hate on the drive is the fact that the drive is crowded. The drive has got bikers on it. West Philly Drive has bikers on it. It's got skaters on it. It's got BMX bikers that travel back and forth on there. It's a little bit of everybody on there. Joggers, the whole 9 yards. And your path is somewhere between, I would say, roughly as wide as, maybe it's about 4 of those wide. That's it. It's not a big path. I said as wide as that right there. That's as big as it is. So all these people share this one path. And people have slammed into each other. Like, you got somebody coming around a corner, almost feels like 100 miles an hour on a bike blasting through, and you just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time and get smacked. But for some reason, everybody knew the system, so once in a while you see somebody get hit. But the one things we hated the most are couples. Because couples, you guys skate hand in hand. You take up both sides of the path because you want to hold hands. You're all looking in each other's face like, I love you. You're not realizing where you're at the end of the day, because you could easily get trucked by something really easy. So we're all sitting out there, and this guy's blasting through. He's skating through. Doom, 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 doom. And here comes this couple holding hands right around the corner from the art museum. And he takes his stick, and he throws his stick out, and the stick lands in front of him like this. Now, you ever been on rollerblades before? You hit a stick, and you don't know how to jump over or get around it, you're going to fall flat on your face. So he throws his stick in front of him, and they separate. The one goes this way, one goes that way. He picks up the stick and takes off. And I'm like, oh, shoot. Like, that was awesome. Loved it. So we finally figured out where he was at. We caught him at the top of the art museum. Got to talking to him about it. He said, yeah, man, I like that little trick you did over there. We got to talking this, that, and the other. So where you skate at? I'm over at University City skating. So they skate over at University City? Really? So yeah, it's a park over there you skate at. So ended up going over there. And they had a game over there. I was over there watching their game. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It was cracking up when we saw that. Couples are the worst for skating. Because you guys... Now, I've seen some couples skate. They basically skate one behind the other. Those are the ones we like. Because, again, they respect the road at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They got the little cool thing going back and forth with much respect. But you lovey-dovey jokers at the end of the day be holding hands and taking up both sides of the path. Yeah. I got to come behind you and I got to scrape my stick behind you. So scrape my stick means I got to drop my stick and go, make that sound, that crunching sound. So you move the freak out of my path when I'm coming past you. Because you run the risk of getting knocked over, and I'm not trying to get an assault charge. But that's what I used to do. I just scrape my stick, come right up behind, scrape my stick, and you'd move. It was pretty loud. Yep. Get out of my freaking path, man. I'm moving. I'm coming through. So, yeah, scrape that stick. It's better than me catching under the heel of your foot and bringing it up. You know what I mean? You come down your head. But Other than that, yeah. When I skated, I turn into a different person. I get really, really aggressive. Because, again, it's hockey at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? You don't be aggressive all day long. So, you play hockey, you know what I'm talking about. You be sitting there all hyped up, ready to fight, ready to rumble. Any given time, somebody mess with your teammate, you ready to rumble. Somebody mess with you, you ready to rumble. Somebody mess with the fans, you ready to rumble. You always ready to fight. So, you're always aggressive. All the time. It's like being the Hulk 24/7. I'm always angry. And you just be aggressive. I had a guy who barked at people. He was hilarious on the way. He was always very aggressive skater at the end of the day. When we be skating around, he'd be barking at people. Oh, we had an interesting little rat pack. There was 12 of us. 12 of us on a good day. Most likely, most days, it'd be probably maybe between 4 to 5. The usual group that we hung around with. Little rat pack. And one of the guys, I remember, he was the most hilarious guy, man. He was like a mixture of Charles Bronson and freaking Jim Carrey combined. He was the most interesting person I ever met. But there were all a bunch of little crazy jokers at the day. All of them played hockey, man. I met all of them playing hockey. These guys were freaking nut jobs, man. But they were hilarious, man. So one of them used to literally bark at people. I mean, literally race back to people. Like, yeah. He's an interesting guy. I was like, is he all there? He said, yeah, he's just an interesting guy at the end of the day. And it's interesting because these guys had high professional jobs. They were at serious career jobs. Just, when they got out there, they were just different people because I guess they worked jobs where they just had to be this particular person. But when they got out there, they can be free. They felt free on skates. They can get out there and be where they want to be. You know what I mean? All day you're in the office. Yes. I'd be out there barking too at the end of the day. Kill some of that stress. Yeah. We met some chick out there one time. Another female was skating with him. She also played hockey. She was out there. And he barked at her. She was in regular clothes. She was out there in the city hall doing something. And he barked at her. She barked right back at him. And he said, I'm in love. The camera pointed to the side. We saw them out there together. And she had hockey gear on. I said, teaching hacky? She said, no, she plays hockey. I was like, oh, what are the odds of that? Dream girlfriend. Absolute dream girlfriend. Somebody that plays hockey just like you at the end of the day. I'm trying to get paint out of here. So plays hockey just like you. Yeah, they married too, on top of that. He found the perfect wife. Same interests, played hockey, had the same energy had. Perfect. And he got that from barking at people. Yeah. Instead of going out trying to kick game and try to spend all this money, this guy literally met his actual wife from barking at her. Can you imagine the story behind that one? It's like, yeah, so I was out there doing some shopping, and this guy came up on skates, and he started barking at me, so I barked right back at him, and long story short, we got married. That's an excellent story right there. Fun, and they both bark at people, which is hilarious, too. Then we had this other guy. He was hilarious, too. He was quiet, but he just said some of the weirdest stuff at the end of the day. So we're all sitting out there at 7-Eleven. We're drinking. And we just got a kid walks over. I told you something before. This kid comes over. And you can see he's not an aggressor skater. He's probably somebody new trying for the first time. I mean, we gave him a chance to be with the pack if he would have kept up, you know. But, yeah, whatchamacallit ended that one right from the door. So the guy was like, can you guys tell me where you guys skate at? And I can't say the guy's name. He walked over and said, in your mind. All up in his face. It was just funny. Because look at the kid just walked away. He just skated away. He wasn't a kid, but, 18, 19 years old. The way he just said it, in your mind. He was like, okay, these guys eventually don't have it all together. Apparently we didn't have it all together, but that's the whole point of just basically being young and free and having fun. At the end of the day, no consequences. As long as you're not breaking the law and doing something stupid, You don't have to worry about, most of these people were adults, you know what I mean? And they had jobs and they had responsibilities, but when they got out there, they got a chance to be free from it all. No office, no work, no boss, no nothing. Just be who I am at the end of the day. Can't bark at people at your job because you'll get fired. But here you can basically be yourself. And that's what I liked about hanging around these people at the end of the day. And you see them downtown, they're wearing suits and stuff, and they look so unhappy. But that's the way it is. That's how you got to pay the bills, right? Why do you think I started my own business? Because I wanted to be free. Freedom. And it depends on what kind of job you have. Some people work really good jobs. They like their jobs at the end of the day. And they don't mind at the end of the day. That's what they went to school for. That's what they like. To each his own. I'm not putting anybody down. But yeah, I do miss those days, boy. We did some crazy, reckless stuff. I'm actually genuinely surprised I'm actually alive, to tell you the truth. I've done some crazy stuff. You ever had an aluminum hockey stick? You know what happens when you get caught in a thunderstorm with an aluminum hockey stick? Yeah, the odds change quickly for you. Extremely quickly for you. Yes, they do. When you're walking around with an aluminum hockey stick. Yeah. I remember that. We got caught in a storm one time. And it was like, basically, we could have just beat it. We could have gotten in the car and just drove off and left. But we decided to do the Kelly Drive. When the storm, try to beat the storm. Because you've seen the storm coming, things like something out of Independence Day. And I was like, hey, you want to do it? He said, you want to do it? Do you want to race the storm? So yeah, we literally skated around here. And as we're going across the last bridge that reaches over to the art museum, I took the cap. There's a rubber cap on your hockey stick. I removed it, put it in my pocket, took my gloves off, threw it over my shoulder, and basically grabbed with both hands and ran that metal stick right down the side of that bridge while it was thundering and lightning out there. Yep. Why? Adrenaline rush. That's why. You feed off other people at the end of the day. His drum is always through the roof 24/7, so he powers me at the end of the day. I'm adrenaline rush kicking off the other guy behind me. He's tricking off mine. So it's interesting how everybody triggers off each other's adrenaline rush. And he's sitting there taking a stick and grinding it, so I'm taking mine off doing the same thing he's doing it. And he's challenging now. He's doing something I'm not going to do. He's challenging God to take him out. Yeah, man. The adrenaline rush kick in. Hey, he's challenging God. Take him, kill him, take him out, to bring up and push this adrenaline to the roof. Like I said, I've done some crazy, reckless stuff. When I used to skate, I used to delivery skate in front of your car and cut off at the last minute. Now, I'm not thinking that person could have had a heart attack. Anything could have happened, but I got adrenaline rush off of it. Speeding in traffic and basically cutting in front of your car, knowing that you could kill me in the process, but didn't make a difference at the end of the day. I was feeding that hunger for that adrenaline rush. And I got to skate right in front of your car, pull right off. Not thinking that I could have literally caused a car accident or hurt somebody pretty bad. But, at that time, at that age, you're not thinking about that. You're just thinking about getting that next rush. Yep. So the best adrenaline rush you could possibly get is South Street. South Street, if you have seen it before, is one long strip. Now, in between those strips, you got cars that can pop up at any given time and you can be taken out. But even worse, as you're flying down South Street as fast as you can, anyone can open up a car door and end you just like that. Easily. And mind you, when you're skating through, you have cars here and you have cars in the middle of you because it's cars. South Street is constantly packed with cars. So as you're flying through at 100 miles an hour, you're not pretty sure you're not going 100 miles an hour, but it feels like you're going that fast. Anyone can open up a car door and hit you here. Anyone can curve and cut into a lane and get here, and you can be killed. So the object basically was to skate through South Street as fast as you can. Whatever comes up, you just deal with it as it goes along. I've seen people jump over mailboxes, or slam mailboxes, slam cars, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, but that adrenaline rush when you get to the end was absolutely as pure as it could get. Yep. And that's why people do crazy stuff. Some people are like, why in the world these people do parkour? It's adrenaline rush they're getting off of it. It's an extreme. It's got high in the day without basically being addicted to a drug. But some days you win and some days you lose. And I have gotten stitches. I broke my arm. I broke ribs, stuff like that. I've had my head slammed against the cement multiple times. I've jumped down the stairs and caught some pebble that was sitting there waiting for me and fell sideways and felt my head slam up against the cement. You get dizzy for a while. Sometimes you throw up. Sometimes you just sit there because you feel like you got a concussion, like someone's bouncing your head all over the cement, and you just sit there and just chill. It all comes back to you, and you just get back up and do it again, even without the helmet. And I literally did this while I had the helmet in my hand. That tells you the idiocy nonsense I was doing. Yeah. Jumped up, took the helmet off because it was too hot. And ended up catching a pebble, and it threw me down a flight of stairs, head first. And my people were out there. They were like, "Oh shoot, you're all right. Put him. Don't move him. Because I was looking all around. Like I didn't know where I was at. Hit that ground pretty hard. Like, man, I think I can taste my life. That was pretty hard. Yeah. Yeah. I miss those days so much. And yeah, some of the guys were super serious, super seekers. One guy jumped out of planes. He skated and jumped out of the planes. There was another guy who basically did boogie boarding and surfing and all that stuff. And I was like, how dangerous is surfing? I said, dude, your board can literally come down and kill you. Like, you're surfing. You don't realize that. You're surfing, your board can kill you. Your board can come down. You can get struck in the head with the board. You can drown. It happens to people all the time. Go surfing. Board comes up in the air, catches them in the face, catches them in the back, whatever, and you're in water right now. Think about it. You know what I mean? They drown. So a lot of stuff can go wrong. Somebody else's board can smack you and kill you. Somebody can fall off their board and come in your direction. You be hit with and be killed. So a lot of crazy stuff happens. I'm like, okay, man, that's freaking crazy. Yeah. Yeah, you know what happens. People drown all the time. So we got to get some more. Hey. We're done. We're 8:52, so we're just about the time where people start opening up around 9 o'clock to go venture out. I get here around 6 o'clock, so there's nothing open by the time I get up at all periods. I just come here and go to work. By the time I get some stuff here, everything is starting to open up. I can go over and get what I need to get from there and then come back in. We got 9.5. That's my size. It's 9.5. Man, these things are cheap. Oh, they $2.79. And I got mine. I paid $4, $5, $6, $7. Most I've ever paid for a pair of pictures was $800. And they're worth every freaking penny of them. Yes. These are I love these. These are my absolute best. I like these. And a friend of mine got a pair of these because he liked them. And he said, how do you stop? Because most people do it with the heel in the back. They push the heel up. You can do a T-stop. This is where you drag the wheel behind you, or a power stop. I prefer the T-stop because I've seen somebody do a power drop. They go, it only works on ice. I tell you what's better on ice. But yeah, you hit something and you get thrown. It'll throw you if you hit something. Rigid cement or whatever, it'll throw you to that front power slide. But that works better on ice. I used to stay shaving people in the face with ice. And friends would be sitting there tying their ice, and you just get them cover them with ice all up in their face and take off running. Okay, you can't run on skates, but I can run on skates. I definitely can run my behind off on skates. But we go up there, we go to Rockefeller Center, and they wait till they get down and tie their shoelaces, just go shave ice all in their face and just take off running. Oh man, I just love getting them that way. Your shoelaces untied, like right there, it's untied. Get them right in their face. It's not fair. You can run on skates. Yeah, you played hockey for so many years, you can run on skates too. You can see the difference between people who, when they skate, they turn their whole body turns when they skate. People who actually know how to skate is foot over foot. So, where's my freaking box at? Right here. Man, I had to teach some girl how to do it. It's not really that hard. Your feet travel one over the next. Most people skate, they skate and they turn this way. They turn their whole body. Other people skate this foot over foot. So you put this foot in, you're sliding this foot back out. That's what it is when you turn. It's kind of interesting how you do it. This foot comes here, pushes off as this foot comes back out. This is what you're doing. Foot over foot, foot over foot, foot over foot. And you're turning. You push your body at the same time. You move your arms. When you switch, turn backwards, and you do the same thing, but you're going backwards instead. Same thing how you skate backwards. You turn it foot over foot, foot over foot, foot over foot. Then you switch over, and it's the same thing. And you go backwards. And you drop down low backwards and hit somebody. Go, ah! Let's do that too. Drop down low backwards, come behind you backwards, and click the back of your skates and pull it up so I can see your face when you go down. Ah, yeah, so many fun tricks. There ain't no point doing it when you do it forward because you can't see the expression on their face. It's better if you switch backwards and drop below and catch them and bring it up as you go up. And they go down and you're going back up at the same time. You're like, hey, what are you doing down there? Oh, sorry about that. Didn't see you. Mr. Hockey Stick says hello. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, by the way, I told you about the guy who basically barked at people. He had googly eyes on his hockey stick. Yes, he did. He's a funny dude. And what's that, Mr. Hockey Stick? Oh yeah, he deserved it, didn't he? Yes, he did. Skate off. You're a nutcase, man. What do you do for a living? He's a lawyer. Defense criminal lawyer. That's what he did. Isn't that weird? Like, how are you an attorney? You do this stuff at the end of the day. He said, no, I'm a human at the end of the day. All right. You know what? This is dry brush. Dry brush painting. You work with a dry brush. It allows you to pick up detail. Dry brushing. Go heavy in its corners. Because you have more than enough paint on there. And you stroke it nicely. Cast your shadows in there. Detail into your walk with dry brushing. Alright people, we're out. We need to get more paint, which I'm dreading that because I don't think they have anything in there left because we did buy all our paint. We bought all their paint. Pretty much we bought all their black paint. There's none left in there. So I'm probably going to have to order online if we come back with nothing. We are going to need more glue, so we're definitely going to pick up some more glue. Definitely with that. That's pretty much it. So I guess we'll transfer over to dark blue because I think dark blue is the only thing they have left. We just need something to harden the surface and basically cover over the print. Hopefully the dark blue works is just as well as the black. Because that orange did not cover well at all, period. And I had to go back in and no, it didn't. We crushed it, got rid of it. So we need more glue, and gee whiz, really, we need more glue, and we need more some black paint. And I definitely want to pick up some kind of vintage flower over there, something cheap. Might go to a thrift store and find something, and bring it back here so I can basically see what I'm looking at, what I'm working with when it comes to the whole vine system. So it's getting there, people. It's getting there slowly but surely. And we got to go back to looking to the game store. Definitely working on that. Right there. We got a nice little wires working all that in there. It's going to run all in the power supply. The power supply system is going to have connectors, but we're just going to connect the wires into it. We can take them in, take them out. That's what we're going to do. And we're also going to be running some of those where did I put those at? The USBs. We definitely got to run a couple of those in there. Definitely got to run a few USBs. Are the ones that the lights travel through. There's some of the greenish. You can see some power coming off this thing. Or we can't do that because we're going to fill it with oil. So it's going to have to have a charge coming from here, wrapping around the cables here, and attach it in here to the power supply unit. But we need a bulky cable bulk. We need a bulky, like a bulk like this of wires and cables all intertwined together, and then we'll have that glow in the dark cable in between that'll connect into here. Like it's being charged by the power supply. Alright. Pretty soon everything will take shape. Alright people, I'll be back in soon. Be safe out there. Thank you for your time for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I gotta go, and God bless.